All right, and welcome to another episode of the Jumping the Rail podcast here on the JTR Podcast Network. This is Mark Rebman coming to you from the Noodles position in Champaign, Illinois, joined presently by my cat, the aforementioned Noodles. You see your tail right there, and my buddy Minderz.
Hi,
So,
Mark.
Minderz, it was a weekend, was it not?
Lord,
I'll
I
start by asking, do you think Dominic Mysterio's chest has reinflated after last night?
I kind of hope so. I hope
He,
so
he,
because he took a beating. Holy crap!
there was one specific spot where it looked like he kind of messed up uh setting up a spot, and then Gunther just chopped the shit out of him.
Yeah, it was like you messed it up.
It's like, yes, sir.
This is what you get.
Gunther is in Sir category, like how we talk
Yes.
about Cobra and Jared Down guys in the 0-1 locker room.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
But
believe me, I know.
oh yeah, we'll talk about Gunther a little bit later on because we got to talk a little bit about Raw, even though it's technically not on our rundown. Uh, there is a possibility that this is going to be a card subject to change episode, just because
Yep.
we're wondering. But we got stuff to talk about. But the first thing we're going to do, Menders, we have a something we've never done before on this show. Uh,
Oh.
we have an unboxing to do because I've been
Ooh.
sitting on this for almost a week. I haven't
I'm
opened it because I wanted to do it on the air.
I'm real impressed that you let it go a week.
From
Honestly.
from the good people at Cornet's Collectibles, Noodles, I'm going to need you to hop down because I don't trust you. You're very cute. She, oh, she's
Noodles,
just
get
sitting here,
down.
she's just sitting here looking at it.
Do I get to play in the
She's
box
like,
after you're
she's like,
done, Dad?
she's like, is this for me?
No,
All
it's
right,
not for you.
just all right. So get my trusty cutlass here.
Okay.
Let's see. I haven't even broken the tape. This thing's completely undisturbed.
I'm. Where did you hide it so you didn't look at it and
No,
want to
it's been
open it every
no.
day?
I've been looking at it all week. It's been on my sitting on my desk. Don't get away from the knife, Goofy.
Just like a little kid.
Just like a little kid. You have no idea.
I bet you I do.
Well.
Mine just barks instead of meows.
Uh-huh. All right. Oh, it's got packing peanuts in it too. All right.
Throw one, get her to
Protective
run away.
cardboard sheet.
AJ just said Noodles is thinking, take whatever is in there out so I can finally sit in that box. I've been waiting all week to sit there.
All right. So we've got.
How
A
excited are you
first,
right now?
I'm very excited. It's a first and only release from the good people at Cornet's Collectibles of the Heavenly Bodies action figure set.
That's pretty sweet.
The original Heavenly Bodies, by the way, Dr. Tom Pritchard and the Gangster of Love, Sweet Stan Lane. There,
Hmm.
not Jimmy Del Rey this time. It's very cool looking. Like I said, it's going to stay in the package. There you see the picture on the back of the original group from Smoky Mountain
That's so
Wrestling there.
awesome.
And there's supposed to be a picture in here too. I got to make sure I didn't lose
Keep
it.
checking at the bottom of that box.
Yeah.
Because when I got
Aha!
when I got my
Because this is the prize. I mean, the figures are cool, but the main reason I got this thing is because it comes with the autographed 8x10 of the bodies and Mr. Jim Cornette there. So that will be going into a frame. I've got one of Cornette and all three members of the Midnight Express that I got signed like 12 years ago. I cannot find it for the life of me. I need to track it down and get it
yeah.
into a frame. And then that'll go in a place of honor next to the bodies and also my Cult of Cornette membership. Of course, it'll be going
Hey,
up on the wall.
speaking of, shout out to you for getting Jim Cornette to say Champaign, Illinois on the podcast.
Oh, yeah, I'm taking full credit.
You
Taking
you
full
have
credit for
to.
that.
I
I don't think there's any other Champaigniacs that get stuff from Corny. So,
no. And then I have a question. Did you tell him to put that on your thing or did he realize it?
oh no, I asked him to.
Okay.
It's because when you get the stuff, you can put in whatever you want him to
Yeah,
put on
you can
there.
have him write whatever message. Yeah.
And I was just being a smartass that day, and I was like, I'm gonna see if he'll write that. And
Oh
sure
yeah,
enough,
he'll write
he did.
anything you want him to.
Hmm just to be a smarty, I want to once I'm getting to do one that says the Rock and Roll Express were better than the Midnight Express. Just to see what he would do it.
Jerk.
I go corny, but no, that is very cool. And because they've been doing this thing with the Midnight Express figures for a few months now, where
Hmm.
the money's going to everybody involved,
They're
Dennis and
splitting it
Stan
evenly all
and
the
Bobby's
way.
family,
Yep.
everything. And then for this second run they did of it, they added the bodies to it, and this is the only time that they're doing action figures for the heavenly bodies.
This is it for doing
Yeah,
action figures, period.
yeah. After this, he said he's done. It's too much work. So,
Well, he said one more because he had one more variant that he was working on.
oh, okay.
Yep.
But no, the packaging also is so cool. It looks like an old school looking set from the early '90s.
Mm-hmm. It
It's
does.
got you got all the
Well,
faces on there.
when you get just the one, it just comes in the.
Right. But no, it's very exciting. I need to find a
That's
good spot
awesome.
for it. I need to find a good spot for it. Maybe you know what? Here, I'm gonna move my. This is my flask I got from my brother when he went on his honeymoon
Oh,
about
nice.
15 years ago. He brought that back for me. So I might see if I can fit this next to Dusty on my shelf here.
There you go.
The Dusty Funko here, which
The one that all of us have now.
apparently, yeah. So I think the flask will go up on the shelf up there, but I'll do that later. I'll put that down
Okay.
here for now. I know this is very riveting stuff here to see me
Yep.
rearranging my desk.
Yep.
But no, thank you to Jim Cornette and Cornette's Collectibles. That is it's very cool and also reasonably priced too, I gotta say.
I was debating on it, but I got a
Uh,
lot of stuff. I don't know how much more I can take.
right. Dwayne says he liked both Rock and Midnight. Me too. I'm more of a Midnight's guy, but I do like the Rock and Roll Express, and they were very nice guys when I met them. I met Ricky a couple times, but at Days of the Dead 2017, they were both there, and they were very cool. So
Very nice.
you know, I'm a belt guy.
Speaking of,
I may have to get that Smoky Mountain Tag Team belt sometime if I can find it.
are you going to tell everybody who you're going to get to meet at Squared Circle Expo coming up in a few weeks?
Oh yes, so we might as well start with the Expo, Menders.
Okay.
Here we go, because it's a few weeks away, and they announced a few weeks ago that Jushin Thunder Liger is going to be there, and
And the way they
myself,
did it was brilliant.
it was really good. They showed the picture of the Liger from Napoleon Dynamite in the post. It was very cool. But myself and my our friend Bari, my co-host on Gold Rush, we have gone halvesies on the professional photo op with Mr. Liger, so we're going to do that.
Is it just
And
him that you're getting?
yeah, I didn't do the one with Sonny Ono or with Tajiri and Ultimo Dragon because they got all kinds of combinations on these
They
photos.
do. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm only probably going to get to do a couple of them. Uh, I'm on the fence. I may do another one, but I'm not sure. Because for
I
the
got
most part, the table pictures are plenty for me. But
me too. I like the professional one, like the one, like kind of the big pop for me for that year. Like I want to do
yeah,
at least one.
yeah,
But or if there's more than like one person, you have to try to fit in a picture
uh-huh,
because that's not going to happen.
yeah. Like if it was going to be like the Money Inc. with Jimmy Hart and then me and like my wife, for example, that's five people.
Yeah. So
I'm
trying to
a
get
big
5
boy.
people together
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
but if you
I
don't mind having
was
them separate, it's fine.
yeah. I was gonna do the Jimmy Hart and Money Inc. photo op, but I think that one's it's gonna stretch me out a little thin if I do too many of these professional photos, and I'm still waiting, Heather.
We're waiting on the big one. We're waiting on the
Yeah,
big one.
yeah, because I am most definitely getting Kingfish, so I'm just waiting for that one to become available.
Yep. That's kind of where I'm at, and then I'll decide if there's anything left,
Mhm.
which one other one I might do.
Yeah, as far as Greg Valentine goes, as long as I get this thing signed, the old
You're
let go
happy.
of my toe,
Yep.
I'll be good.
Dwayne, I'm actually getting my picture taken. Me and Bari are going to get our picture taken with the Nation of Domination, and it was $200,
Yeah,
and
it
that's
varies
just
person
a
to person,
picture. That is
and
just a picture,
keep in mind that's also you guys with four people.
right?
So, but it depends on if it's one guy or if it's three or four, because these guys have to get their cut, so
And it's
so
usually
no
anywhere,
shame in that.
even with the professional ones, I think so far I've seen 70 to 200 for the
Yeah,
professional ones.
I think Sting was 70. Sting and Luger, I think was like 120.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what the going rate is this year.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
The Liger one was 70, which
yeah.
I thought honestly I thought that was going to be higher.
For one person, that's about right. I
But
think
also you're paying for him to come over from Japan too, so he's got to make his money.
right.
So
Well, I think last year I paid 80 for MJF.
yeah,
So,
I forget. Did he have the belt with him in that picture?
yep.
Nice.
Yeah, Dwayne, you say that, but you don't understand how good these pictures are. You don't understand, and you can't get everybody together to get
Just
the whole group.
as a for instance, Dwayne, at Days of the Dead 2015, I got this one with Bret Hart, and that's a good looking picture there.
That is a good looking picture.
And that is the Intercontinental title that he won at WrestleMania 8.
There you go.
So
Very nice.
now,
Very nice.
now I gotta wait for Stacy to get home so I can put this back up and not make it fall because I'm not very good at it. So off to the side you go. Noodles will probably sit on it, but it's under glass, so we're safe.
So we've got two new WA. Jeez,
New W.
NWA. New WA. Now you're going to help me with her name because I have a feeling I'm going to screw it up. But we've got
Okay.
Danny Deals,
Right, he's the color commentator for NWA Power, along with our friend of the show, Joe Galley.
and I'm going to take a wild guess and say Tiffany Knives.
That'd be a great name for a wrestler, especially
Wouldn't
a
it?
deathmatch wrestler.
So
But
what is it? Naives or
Tiffany,
something?
Tiffany, I'm gonna stop you before you dig a bigger hole.
Okay.
Tiffany Nieves.
Nieves.
Yeah,
Okay.
she just had a title shot not too long ago against Kenzie Page.
Okay.
So
I was
uh,
just sitting here and I'm
a
like, okay.
bars of squares isn't for the cheap. It's not. You got to save your
It's not.
pennies. But man, is it worth it though.
Oh, it's so worth it.
Dwayne, NWA is not on YouTube. You have to get the CW app to watch
And it's
the episode of
free.
Power. Completely free. No subscription necessary. So it's still available. AJ commented, Luger may be a Hall of Famer by the time you meet him, if the rumors are true. I wouldn't hate it if Luger got in the Hall
Nope.
of Fame.
He would be going in the week after we meet him.
But he'd be announced, though,
Well, he'd be
as a Hall
announced,
of
but
Fame. Yeah,
it'd be
yeah.
the week after
Uh,
he would go in.
I met Luger a couple years ago at the Expo. Very nice fella.
Oh, I'm sure he is
He's been
now.
he's been humbled by circumstance,
Yeah,
but still.
very much
But
so.
but where is it? Here we go. I'm not taking it out of the bag, but
Oh, he got his belt.
I got my belt. 3 of the 5 people that have held that belt will be at the expo, and by golly, all 3 of them are signing this damn thing. I'm talking Sting, Lex Luger, Ron Simmons. 4 of the 5 are still attainable. Ric Flair also, but you can't get all 5 that held the belt because Vader sadly is no longer with us.
Right.
But no, I'm kind of ridiculous. I've
It happens.
I've been told I cannot put the hanger here and have it hanging, which would
That,
be risky anyway with the cats.
that's true. Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna have to figure out some way to display it. Maybe get one of those big frame jobs that you can get on eBay with
There you go.
the background, and then put it on the wall.
There you
But
go.
you never know. We'll figure it out.
Okay, have we stalled long enough before we got to get into this? What we're probably going to annoy some people with,
Yeah. Well, I'm
or do you want
sure.
to go somewhere else first? I'm cool going somewhere else
Let's
first.
go somewhere else first.
Okay.
So let's talk about Gunther because they announced yesterday that they're going to determine his number 1 contender next week on Raw in a gauntlet match, which I like the way they do that because everybody has to get beat.
Yep.
It's not just a 1-fall 6-way
Situation.
madhouse.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember the 6 off the top of my head. You got Gable, Chad Gable, Sami Zayn,
Mm-hmm.
Bronson Reed,
Yep.
Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, and McDonough,
Yeah.
JD Funko.
Yeah. JD Funko.
Yeah. Uh, Out of those six, Menders, who do you want to see taking on Gunther at WrestleMania?
Who do I want to see, or who do I think is going to end up?
How about both? We'll do both.
Well, I think Sami Zayn's going to be the one.
See,
That's
I disagree. I disagree. I mean,
that's who I
they,
think they'll do.
okay.
Now, they want to make things real interesting, though. It'd be kind of fun to have JD get it. Because then Priest could come in and cash in. And
Yeah,
instead of going after the main title, which
it seems like Gunther has almost made that IC title as prestigious, if not more, than the top belts. So in
exactly
that case, I wouldn't hate it if Priest cashed in on him.
right.
Now, with that said, I think it's going to be Chad Gable.
Okay. And
It
I'm
seems like
okay with that too, but
the only reason I say that is it seems like he's the only one that has an actual story with Gunther out of all six of these guys.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, you got three former champions and
Well, and
the
Sammy.
Judgment Day doing the yeah, he's one of the former champions there, but
Yeah.
and he's got that he's doing the whole must win thing and all that. But you got Funko, damn it, corny, McDonough in doing the Judgment Day versus Imperium business, but I don't think he's ready for a title match at WrestleMania quite yet.
No. But I don't know. I guess I was looking more at storyline. But if I was going to look at storyline, I should be looking at Gable and not at JD. But I'm trying to think of a
Yeah.
way that they can all turn on Priest, since we saw where Tama Tongo
Tonga.
is signed. Sorry, I said it wrong. I always say things
It's not
wrong.
Tongo.
You ought to be used to it by now. But
That's right.
you
The
know,
wife makes misspeaks too, so.
I'm sure she does. I've heard her. But with him
Oh, I have a
coming back,
list.
I bet you do. That wouldn't
I will not
surprise me
divulge it on
one
the
bit.
air because I'm a gentleman.
Still not as good as Footbeat, but that's beside
No.
the point. Damn phone.
Footbeat. Nectar of the gods.
Yeah. What do you?
But
Okay, so you say Gable or who?
no, I say Gable, but I do. It does make sense to me to have Priest do a cash in on Gunther because it seems like at this point the only way Gunther's going to lose that belt is if he's not at 100%, and after a grueling title defense would be the time to do it.
Right.
But then you get a chance that Gunther's going to go babyface if he loses a cash in to the Judgment Day,
Yeah.
which would be really weird. I've never seen Gunther as a babyface.
I
I've seen him wrestle heels, but never as a babyface.
I guess I kind of see him like a babyface right now, even though he is a heel. And I think it's just because there's the anti-hero, I guess, or whatever. I have a complex about anti-heroes. So
His heel work reminds me a lot of Tully Blanchard because he doesn't cheat necessarily as a heel. He's just better than everybody that he's in the ring with,
he
and
might
he's not
bend the
humble about it.
rules. He might
He'll
bend the
bend the
rules.
rules. He'll bend the
He won't
rules,
break
sure,
them.
but
He
no
won't break them.
weapons, no
Yeah.
whacking the referee. He just outclasses people.
Yeah.
On a regular basis.
Dwayne, why wouldn't they have a cash in on the IC title?
They
Why would
did
you
it with
cash in? There's too
they
many.
did it with they did it with the U.S. title last time.
There's too many big dogs at the top right now. I'm sorry, there is. So to throw Priest in there, it's not gonna help the situation.
The
I
only
don't
way
think.
it would the only thing better than if he cashed in on Gunther is if he cashed in on Cody after night two and took the belt from him.
That's
Just suck
assuming
the
Cody
air out
has
of
the
the
belt.
whole. Assuming Cody wins the belt, because there's a lot of development there. We should talk about The Rock real quick because hang on, I have pictures somewhere. There we go. Okay, so there's something that a lot of people noticed at the end of SmackDown last week. We'll throw this
That we
picture up.
noticed the week before.
So we noticed he's still doing the L,
Uh-huh.
as you can see, but look on that far right side. at the
Paul?
wise man. Look at
Mm-hmm.
Paul. He noticed. He sees this, and
Mm-hmm.
he looks concerned.
He does. I noticed that.
Yeah. Now at the end of this, Rock did put the thumb back, so he was doing the one. But for that split second, they got that intrigue there with Paulie
Yeah,
and the Rock.
they
And
did. Because
and
I even paid attention. Like, I even made it a point to watch it very closely to see if he did it again.
hmm yeah.
So,
And also, I popped on for I don't pop for signs usually on SmackDown or
uh-huh.
on wrestling anyway.
Right.
But there was a sign on there from let's see, let me get my picture back up. For Simpsons fans especially, they'll appreciate this because they were doing the "Die Rocky Die" chants, and they had the network was actually blacking it out. They didn't want that getting
Yeah,
out
I
there
mean, I can understand that
because
as
they
it
clearly never saw The Rock in 1997.
exactly. It's funny you say that because today, or for
Yes.
the past 2 days, I've went back and watched the Monday Night Wars.
Oh man, so good.
It is.
Watch No
Well,
Way Out 1998, the promo from the Nation before their match, just for uh, just for Ron Simmons being tough, and then The Rock just rolling his eyes and mugging behind him the whole time. He's just being such a little dick.
I
But
do
anyway,
remember that.
but anyway, there's a sign here. It says "The Rocky the," which is a full-blown Simpsons reference to my favorite character, Sideshow Bob, who had a "Die Bart Die" tattoo on his chest. And during
Uh-huh.
his parole hearing, they were asking him about that, and he's like, "No, that's German. That means the Bart, the." Somebody took the time to make a "The Rocky the" sign instead of "Die Rocky Die," and I popped so hard because I love Sideshow Bob,
Oh
and
gosh. And you love wordplay.
I do,
So
and I love wordplay.
that was a
Hello,
win-win
Bart.
situation for you.
Yes, it really was. Oh my goodness.
Uh,
Sometimes wrestling fans give me hope.
yeah. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes they do.
All right, so the challenge has
See,
been laid out, Minders.
well, hold on.
Okay,
Let's back up just a
let's
second.
back up. Go ahead.
You didn't put up AJ's comment about when we were talking about Gunther. Because AJ's agreeing with me.
I may not have seen it. Let's see. Oh, okay. Here we go. AJ says, I don't know if that would make Gunther a full babyface. This is true. There's
Right.
a difference between a eat your vitamins and say your prayers babyface and a this guy got screwed babyface.
You have Hogan, you have Bret Hart. You have Hogan, you have Bret Hart.
Yes. So yeah, I don't know.
And
Maybe it wouldn't
that's
turn
where I
Gunther
was
full
going.
blown babyface,
Yeah.
but I mean a good Imperium Judgment Day run would be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. No,
Especially if it means Gunther's gonna chop the crap out of Dominic some more.
that'd be fun. We saw a lot of that. That was good. Although I will say Dominic held his own. He
He had
held
a
his
hell of a
own for what
match.
he could. That was good.
Dominic knows what his job is.
Yes.
His job is to get heat and get the crap kicked out of him, and
Yep.
then win in a sneaky and despicable fashion.
He knows what his job
Yep.
is. But
But
anyway,
I will
okay.
say this: I am itching for a Damian Priest Gunther match.
I think it'll be good. I think it'll be real
Yes,
good.
I wish that would have been the Mania match, but I think they're probably doing tag titles at Mania.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
It'll be Priest and Balor defending, so that's why. But it won't be Priest in the IC
Against
match.
Miz and Truth.
Probably Miz and Truth. I'm thinking Miz and Truth would win.
Yep.
Give Truth that big championship pop on WrestleMania,
Yep.
assuming he doesn't go to Philadelphia, Mississippi on accident.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Maybe Miz should put him on the plane with him
Yes,
to
he'll
make
make
sure
him
he
stay in his
gets
house
there.
for a week so he doesn't lose track of him.
Exactly. All right, so back to The Rock. Sorry
Okay,
about
so
jumping the rail
oh
on all that.
no, you're fine, you're fine. It's on the shirt. Uh,
Yeah.
so The Rock put the challenge out on Friday for a tag team match on night one, which a lot of people were expecting in some fashion to have
Right.
The Rock and Roman against Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. The challenge goes if Seth and Cody, I almost said Zack and Cody, Disney Channel reference. If Seth and Cody win, then the bloodline is barred from ringside. But if the bloodline wins, then Cody has a Bloodline rules match, which is essentially anything goes. Uh,
Lazy bookie.
you
Um,
said it, not me. And but it's getting me thinking. They haven't officially accepted the challenge yet. I think they're supposed to on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, number one. Oh, hang on. Oh, AJ, I want. Yeah, you've mentioned this, AJ.
I
You want
want
our
this
truth
to
to show up?
happen.
I know. I think he's on Raw. Just have him
Wait,
just
Chris
pop up in the front
Jericho's
row
there.
during the show. Just if he
Raw, right?
just be heckling all of the ex-WWE people from the front row by their WWE names.
There you go.
Cesaro, Cesaro.
Dean! Dean!
Oh my goodness, we're ridiculous. So
There's a lot to be said about it, though.
there is a lot to be said about it. But as far as Seth goes, I don't know how I feel about a guy just coming back from an injury, working twice, actually working before he's got a title defense. I mean, two nights in a row is nothing, but you got to be a little concerned that there's a re-injury on night one that might throw that night two into jeopardy. And by golly, Drew's earned that title shot.
Yeah? I don't know. There's nothing that
I,
makes more sense, but I'm like you. I'm
unless
like,
unless they were to maybe have Cody bring in like a Steve Austin as a partner to counteract The Rock, but
no.
otherwise everybody else has already got. Seems like they got stuff going on. Jay's probably going to be wrestling Jimmy
Right.
at Mania. Uh, well, I mean, Sammy, he might be in an Intercontinental title match.
Right.
And as far as star power, it's kind of has to be Seth, doesn't it? I mean, it's the
It has to
basically
be.
it's the three top guys in the company and The Rock.
Right. You
AJ says it's
know,
going to cut Drew's balls off if he doesn't win. I'm on the record. I think Drew's going to win. I think Drew's going to win the belt at Mania.
yeah. You know, it all depends on what night they have it, though, for the U.S. title. It's
It's
too
that
bad they
Logan
couldn't get
and
L.A. Knight.
well, yeah, he's. I don't know what
I'm just
LA's
trying
Knight's
to
going
think
to do.
this. I'm trying to think, or even Rand. I don't know. There's
I
no.
mean, Randy would make sense. You know,
Randy would make
he and Cody
sense.
have history, but I'm still flummoxed by what's going on with the U.S. title because I've been thinking since Royal Rumble that it's going to be LA Knight challenging Logan Paul, but after the Chamber match, it looks like it's going to be Randy Orton.
I thought they were doing like 4-way dance or 5-way
They haven't
dance.
said that.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
my guess. That's what I wondered if they were going to do that. Throw LA Knight and AJ into the mix and have a four-way.
Yep. CAJ's heard the same thing about the 5-way ladder match.
Oh, with Owens too. Ugh.
Yep.
I mean, okay, let's put the guy that just came back from a year and a half with a back injury on a ladder match.
Is this
I mean,
AEW all of a sudden? I mean, exactly. Okay, we're talking WWE. Take him off of there,
okay.
please.
All right. So we're still talking Rock.
Yep.
Now, I think the best thing they could have done for The Rock is put him in a tag match, just
Oh, yeah.
because the
To
wind
protect
isn't
him.
there from what I've seen of him.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
then the other thing is also Cody and Roman and Seth. All of them have a big match on night two.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I just keep coming back to that question: is it a bad idea to have them main eventing both nights?
I think so. But it's going to drive the story.
Right. I mean, they're not going to open night one with that tag match. That's gonna be the main event of night one.
Hopefully they won't make them be at the well, and then they probably have stuff at the fan expo all day that they're going to be exhausted. I don't
Oh
know how
man,
they do it sometimes. I don't
yeah,
know how
it's.
they do it.
I know how they used to do it in the '80s.
Well, yeah, but they're not allowed to do it that
Wellness
way
policy now.
anymore. Wellness policy. But
Little recreational goodies to get you through the day back in the '80s.
no kidding. But yeah, I mean there's no other way they can do that. But if Seth has Well, that's kind of like Cody. Didn't Cody bring up last night that he's like, man, I really appreciate you doing this.
He gave him an out. He said he didn't have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And Seth didn't take it.
And I like that Drew has been doing the promos where saying, don't worry about the bloodline, worry about me.
Right.
Kind of planting that seed in the fans that he's going to get too extended, and then Drew's going to come in from the back door and take his belt from him.
Well, get Tony out of the corner. We're not talking Tony.
We were talking about ways to make it through a day in the 80s,
Oh,
and it just
okay.
popped,
That's
it
why
popped
we
in my
went there.
head.
Okay. But I wonder if Drew won't actually end up being the one to screw over
Seth and Cody.
Seth and Cody.
It makes sense. Although, but then continuity-wise, would he help the bloodline do anything? Or would he just be just to
Or
mess with
would he
Seth?
that just to mess with Seth, make him go the whole match?
Because Cody's not losing that match.
No.
Cody's not going to be the one to take that pin.
No.
I think it's got to. If it's me, I think it's going to be Rock, Pin, and Seth in that match.
You know what? There is one person that Roman never pinned.
Seth Rollins.
Yep. And Seth
Yep.
didn't tap. He passed out.
Seth didn't. Nope. Seth didn't lose. It was a DQ.
Yeah, he did not lose.
Seth won that match by disqualification, so he's the only guy Roman has not beaten.
So there's something to be said too about if Roman would pin Seth.
Yeah, I wish that Seth would have brought that up in promos in the last month or so when talking about the bloodline. It's like, hey Roman, guess what? I'm the only guy you haven't beat.
Yeah.
Boom.
I'm gonna blame
there
his
you got your
daddy
injury.
brain.
Yeah, that's a real problem.
It's a real problem. So
Let's see. AJ says he wants Seth as softened up as possible going into night 2, but he's got no love for the bloodline either. I can see him keeping a close eye on it, but not getting involved.
I have a feeling we're gonna get a lot of cutbacks to him watching in the back.
At an angle.
Yep. Of course. Is
Like,
there any other way to watch wrestling?
Pretend the banjo is the monitor. He'll just be like this. He'll be.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a great idea. Make a TV that's in the shape of a banjo, where that's the screen. Just a little mini TV kind of thing. I'm sorry. I'm just.
Yeah, you're really jumping off the rail now, bud. You're not
Yeah,
even
I know.
talking wrestling anymore.
I know. Just that's the way my brain works.
We wonder about it sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes our whole gang has been accused of having one brain. So.
Yeah, I think we do. Because
Yes.
you were in my head you were in mine and Barry's head the other day. On different things.
I forget what.
I don't remember. There was something you and I were.
Well, I called it at the 0-1 show with the big return.
Yeah, but that wasn't it. It was something on the AEW thing this weekend. And I told you to get out of AJ and I were sharing a brain.
It was Sting rappelling from the ceiling.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Which did look cool. I'll say that.
It did.
I mean, he always did that well.
Let's say AJ and I were sharing a brain for a. See, now you got Dwayne off on a tangent.
I'm sorry.
But anyway.
All right. Well, Minderz, it's been 35 minutes. Should we just get into it?
I guess so.
All right.
Are we going match by match? Perfect picture. I love it.
Yeah, let me get the results up here so we don't miss anything.
We have a clicker?
Oh, no. I'm just going to get the list off of Google.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, I will say this. There were things on Revolution that I really enjoyed.
Yes.
But there was a lot of stuff that had me scratching my head.
Yes. And there was a lot of stuff that I just couldn't watch. Because it just made me very confused. Grumpy? Yeah. There's a few times. I'm really disappointed in how they think it's like for one match they think it makes perfect sense, and I love the way it's going, and then after that match, nothing. Like they have nowhere
Uh,
for it to go next, and so they just get thrown to the wayside.
yeah. All right. Here we go. So I've got our list of results here, so we're not going to miss anything. Uh, so I was wondering what match they were going to start the show off with, and honestly,
Wait,
I
can
was
we talk
expecting
about
it.
0 Hour real quick because that was dumb.
Yeah, let's talk about 0 Hour. I'm assuming you're talking about the 12-man tag team match.
Yes. Poor Willie Mack. I don't hate the
Oh,
fact
Willie.
he's with Private Party.
No, that kind of works.
That works. I hate
Give
the
them a big
fact
heater.
I hate the fact that he's the one that ate the pin when you have Zippy standing right there next to it.
Well,
I'm
Zippy's not
sorry.
going to. Sutton Singh is not going to take a
So,
bump.
but
I'm going to say this though. This is going to be a hot take. Compared to how he was when he first showed up, I've seen a lot of improvement in Sutton Singh.
he wasn't
In
in the
fact,
match very long.
no, but just when he goes in, he doesn't look like he's going to trip over his feet.
That's
He can
true.
he can move. He's an athlete. He's a basketball player. But it's
Yeah.
what the
I was frustrated by that.
uh yeah. If you're going to have somebody take the pin on that, I would say make it Jeff Jarrett because he does not get hurt by losing anything.
Nope.
I'm glad it wasn't Jay Lethal because that's what I was expecting.
Well, they've already it wouldn't matter with Jay anymore either. They don't care about Jay.
No, they kind of ruined Jay, which
He's
kills me
great,
because he's
but
so good.
yeah.
All right. So, what?
AJ's comment.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, his being angry at the beginning of the pay-per-view about it shouldn't go unmentioned that for a good portion of viewers, if
Oh,
you didn't
yeah.
delete, reinstall, and update the BR app, you could not watch Revolution.
Yeah, there are a lot of people having problems with that, with the
Luckily,
technical
you and I
issues.
were not.
No, I think it must have been because I was using a Fire Stick that I didn't have any issues.
And mine's on my Roku. On my TV is a Roku TV, so
Right. Like if you're using like an Xbox or like a smart TV, you might have been in a bit of a pickle trying to do
yeah.
that.
But so you had that. Then we
Hmm.
had the one thing you and I both popped for, and that was Pac returning.
Yes. Oh man, that guy should have been world champion so long ago.
There's a lot of things that Pac should have done a long damn time ago that never happened, but
Get out.
I am super excited. I hope they do something good with him. If
Yeah,
nothing else, he can come in and take that belt away from Roddy now. I'm sorry. Well, sorry, spoiler
no,
alert.
well,
But
we'll get to it, but
yeah,
that's possible. I mean, if he's a babyface, put him with Christian. Not with Christian, but put him against Christian. TNT title.
mm,
Uh,
I don't know.
I would love
I
to see him and Joe. I'll be honest with
right?
you. You could get him and Osprey now.
I'm trying to think if we had him and Joe at NXT. I don't
I don't
think
think so.
so.
No, no, he was
I think he
gone.
was already on the
He was moved up. Yeah,
he was already on the main roster by the time
yeah.
Joe
The
got
match I
there.
the match I most want to see out of Pockets right now is him against Will Osprey.
Pockets. Oh, Pac.
Pock.
It's gotcha.
Yeah, not Pockets.
Gotcha. Well, it sounded like pockets. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't separate my words effectively. I apologize.
no.
But no, I'm very curious to see what happens with Pac now
Uh
that he's
huh.
back. Uh,
Then we
man, so good.
had.
They had the ladies tag, Julia
Yep.
Hart and Sky Blue against Statlander and Willow Nightingale.
Yep.
Not great, a little sloppy.
A little. It was
I'm
very
being
sloppy.
generous. I'm being generous.
I think that was the first thing I said was, "Oh,
Uh,
this is tough to watch."
man, we talked about the sloppy, and then Julia peeled off that moonsault. Man, that's pretty when she
That
does
is
that.
pretty. That is pretty. There are certain things that she does that
There's
are
she
very
has
pretty.
improved remarkably since she first showed up and was even when she was with the Varsity Blondes and she was basically the cheerleader. So she's
She
put
was
in
a
a lot of
joke
work.
then, in my opinion, but that's
No,
just me.
I don't see her as much of a joke now. I think she's put in a
Not
lot of work.
now, but when she was with Varsity Blonde, or
It
when
kind of
she was with
reminds me
Pillman and.
Griff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to say this, and I am not comparing Julia Hart to Trish Stratus as far as ability or anything like that. But go back and watch Trish in 2000 when she shows up. She's the valet for TNA, which I love
Yep.
TNA by the way, Test and Albert. And then by late, oh for Pete's
Sorry.
sake, Dwayne. Uh, but anyway,
Sorry.
by November of '01, Trish has been training constantly with pretty much everybody on the roster that'll spend
Work
time
with
with her
her.
in the ring
Yep.
and work with her. And she's women's champion by Survivor Series of '01, and then she was just off to the races, and she
Yeah.
was a completely different
Then her and
competitor
Lita
than
had
she
the
was.
matches, and
hmm And I think that's the route that Julia is on. She's not quite to Trish level as far
no,
as I'm sorry,
she's getting there though.
she's not to 2001 Trish level. I mean, obviously
There you go.
she's not to Hall of Fame level
Well,
quite
obviously,
yet. I
but
mean, she's still
yeah,
young. She's what,
yeah,
23, 24?
24, I think.
She's just a pup, you know.
I think she's 24.
Yeah. Uh, fact check.
I'm on it.
But but number one, she's got an interesting character.
Yes.
She's got a cool look.
Yes.
She has the cool entrance. Although somebody shared a video like a fan like from their phone at the show where I think it was yeah it was her entrance. It wasn't the House of Black, but you know how they do the blackout and then when the lights come on, she's back in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody captured it when the lights went out. You just see her just in a full sprint to the ring to get there. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not telling people how the sausage is made, but I kind of chuckled at that because you know me. If it was me, I'd be falling on my face as soon as I
Yeah,
started running. I would trip on something.
it'd be tight.
And
It'd
the
be
lights come
Titus
on.
moment.
I'd be tied
It'd
up
be
in
a
the
Titus,
ropes.
be an O'Neill moment.
It'd be a Titus O'Neil moment. But
Actually, we were both wrong. Are you ready for this? It's gonna make you feel
what?
really old.
Oh no.
She was born after we both graduated from high school.
Okay, so that's at least 2000.
She's 22. She was born 2001.
Oh,
So about the time Trish was hitting her stride, it's learning, Julia Hart came around. Ugh, I feel really old right now, Reb.
oh.
Yeah. Do you need that?
I needed that. It's like when I see some of these kids at the 0-1 shows that are like in their early 20s and just
Or younger?
or younger. Oh, yeah, what Kenny's what 17?
18. He is turned.
18 now?
Remember we had him on
I
his
can't
birthday.
keep track. I can't keep track. I thought that was his 17th birthday. But anyway,
And I think LDLC is what, 15?
15 or 16.
15 or 16?
I think Diez maybe.
Yeah.
I'm fuzzy on my Spanish.
I've never been good
Dwayne,
at
oh,
Spanish.
Dwayne, I may be 42, Dwayne, but I have the back, hips, and knees of a 72-year-old man. All right, so let's get into the main show here, Menders, because I thought it was going to open with the BCC FTR match. Because I know Tony likes to start off with Mox,
Yeah.
but
Yippee.
that was not the case. We got Christian Cage and Daniel Garcia for that TNT Championship. You know, it's
Garcia
not.
made a main mistake
Uh-huh.
at the very beginning of that match. He grabbed the belt and held it up like he'd won it.
Bad luck. Yep, that's bad luck. It's like the
Terrible
guys
luck.
that get the world championship tattoo for their football team 3 weeks before the Super Bowl.
Yep. You're going to lose.
Yep.
You're going to lose.
The match was about how we expected. A lot of Gaga on the floor. Nick Wayne, Mother Wayne, Luchasaurus out there.
Cool. Was it Cool Hand?
Daddy Magic.
No, Daddy Magic. Sorry, yeah, it was
Yeah,
Daddy
Cool
Magic.
Hand's the one that's sniffing around Ruby Soho.
Ah, okay.
Daddy Magic, and then Nigel, not a fan of the French Canadians, if you listen to him.
Apparently not.
And apparently Excalibur decided to apologize because
Why
it's
not?
horrible. He actually used the term Francophobia when he said that. And I was like, really, dude? Come on. McGinnis is a heel. He's an English heel, and if anybody has the right to hate the French, it's the British.
Yeah, right. But yeah,
Bloody hell.
it's that whole thing. Are
The
we moving on now from
the
it?
Chris the
Because
Christian act is kind of wearing out its welcome to me.
it is. It's
As
becoming too much.
it's becoming too much. I mean, I love Christian. I love heel Christian
Oh
more
yeah,
than babyface Christian all the time. It's Mother Wayne needs to go away. I'm not a fan of
there's
her.
there's too much to it. Just have Christian stand in front of Nick Wayne and
Kill switch.
Dino Douche, and sorry, had to,
That's
and
fine.
just let him do his thing. And every time that it's somebody that's like their dad's dead, you don't have to bring it up every time. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, if it's somebody younger, you can say, "Hey, I'll be your father."
Yeah,
You know, that's fine. It's fixed with the whole patriarchy business.
just be a
But
dick. It's
be a
okay.
dick. Yeah, it's there's a too big shortage of dick heels in wrestling these days.
There
Drew
really is.
McIntyre is the king of the dicks right now, by the way.
Right now, he is the king of the dicks. He is the king of
Where's
the
that
dicks.
T-shirt?
King of the dicks.
Make the eye a penis. Maybe not.
Let's not do that. I'm broken.
AJ, I mean, how dare you? He says he's the Ward Cleaver of wrestling. He's getting good, wholesome family values on the air every week. You all should be ashamed of disparaging him in this way. Hey, this comes from the guy that may have killed Virgil last week.
Right. Right.
His
Exactly.
snubbage of Vincent during the fantasy draft may have been what put poor Mike Jones over the edge.
It's your fault, AJ.
Uh,
All right. So that match was over.
we say with love and respect to Mike Jones. By the way, we're not
Yes.
making fun.
Yes, we're not making fun.
No, that
Um.
would be cruel.
So Christian again won. Still
Christian
has the TNT
got the
belt.
win. I'm assuming he's holding it for Edge
That's
whenever
what I'm
Adam Copeland comes
assuming.
back.
So you think that'll be it? Which one comes first? All in.
Well, I think Dynasty is next, isn't it?
Well, I know Dynasty's next, but that's not.
Uh,
I don't think Edge will be
All
back in
in is
time.
before All Out.
Okay,
So you think they do it at Wembley?
they might. I don't know
Uh,
though.
Dwayne, I don't know if I agree with that. Christian's
No.
MJF in the heel. I think Christian's a better heel than MJF because he
Yeah.
doesn't try to get laughs.
Right.
MJF's always making the smarty comments and getting people to laugh at him. Christian does not care.
Nope. No. No. No.
It's all about the heat.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're saving it for Edge, but I want to see who Edge is bringing back with him because now he knows that he needs numbers. So
I would say the Hardys, but I think they're heels, aren't they?
well,
I just say because of familiarity.
right. Well, one of them got Sammy Guevara suspended,
Suspended.
so
Yeah. because
which was
because
so stupid
Sammy
because
decided it's
I
yeah. For those who don't know, Sammy hit a shooting star press and landed on Jeff's face and broke his nose. Oh, AJ, no. It brings back the Major Brothers. Are you suggesting Cardona make an appearance on television, AJ? That's not like you.
that isn't like him. I was real confused there for a minute. I was like,
Only if
wait,
he
who wrote
grows his
that?
hair back out. That was AJ.
And Kane gets to throw him off of Kane gets to come
After
back
Eve
out and
Torres
throw him
kisses
out.
John Cena, of course,
Right.
or
Exactly.
Danhausen, if that's necessary.
There you go. Yeah, I think they're saving it for Edge. So there he is.
I'm so bummed he's not going to be at the expo. Oh, he's saying he demo better not. Okay, that's more like that's our AJ.
That's our AJ.
All right. So moving on, like I said, there were a few matches on here that I really enjoyed, and this is one of them. Minderz,
Yep. This
Eddie
was the other
Kingston
one
and
I
Bryan
liked.
Danielson AEW Continental Championship match. Uh, you know me, I'm a big fan of Eddie Kingston going way back,
Right.
and everybody knows how good Danielson is.
Mm-hmm.
This this had, and this sounds very cliche, especially when you're talking about Kingston. This had all of the ingredients of a really good strong style All Japan match from the 90s
Yes.
between those two. You got the shooter in Danielson who's just stretching him and kicking the shit out of him, and then you got the gutsy babyface Kingston, and yeah, I see you giggling, and I'm reading the comment.
I'm
Uh,
sorry.
is he going back to truth?
Yep. You can put it up. You can put it up because it's pretty funny.
Oh, okay. No, I see what he's saying now. Okay.
Yeah.
If he does bring back the Major Brothers to back him up, I'm going to say, "Where's the Young Bucks? Time to bust out more glass and retire another legend." Don't get ahead of us, AJ.
Hey,
Oh,
he
we'll
is the
get
king
him.
of the death match, so
It's true. Deathmatch King,
yeah.
Indie God,
Okay. Anyway, let's continue on.
recipient of a stink face from Kevin Lee Davidson this past
Yes.
weekend.
Hope you enjoyed that one there, buddy.
Oof, oof.
But yeah, I
But no,
really enjoyed. I'm not a big fan of Eddie, but after the match Sunday, he's growing on me. I am the way that whole match played out. I was glad to see the BCC or the um, BCC stayed in the
uh-huh.
back and didn't come out to help Danielson.
Yeah. Has Wheeler Yuta vanished off the face of the earth?
I'm not sure. I'm
He
not
hasn't been
sure
on
what
TV in
happened.
several weeks.
Hold on. I'll check to see if he's on the DL.
Okay. Well, while you do that, we'll get into the next match. It's the All-Star Scramble match
Oh
that was
dear
supposed
God.
to be Meat Madness or whatever it was.
Hey,
Uh,
the 4 guys that were in it, who won the Eddie match? I thought you watched it, Dwayne. Eddie won the Eddie match
yes,
and forced Danielson to shake his hand.
yes.
And it was
Did
great.
you see the backstage promo in the trainer's room with those two?
I did. I
That
did.
was good stuff.
That was good stuff.
I should have showed that on the pay-per-view.
Right. Well, there's a lot of stuff they should have showed on the pay-per-view, but they ran out of time.
Yeah, like most of Sting's speech.
Yeah.
Dwayne says I was dozing off.
Okay.
Fair enough. All right, so the All-Star Scramble match we have. I'm trying to remember all the people in it: Wardlow, Brian Cage, Powerhouse Hobbs, Lance Archer, Jericho, Magnus, not
I was
Nick
hoping you'd
Aldis
forget that
Magnus,
one. I was hoping you'd
Dante
forget
Martin,
that one.
and Hook. Right? Those are the 8
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
AJ says that All-Star scattered, smothered, covered Waffle House hash brown scramble match was a mess. Hobbs looks solid. Hobbs always looks solid.
Hobbs looked great.
My two favorite people in that match were Hobbs and Archer.
Yes.
Man, have they missed the boat with Archer.
But man, you could tell it was a spot fest.
I
Because
think that's what it was designed for.
we'd always see Archer like standing there like, okay, what am I supposed to? They were just kneeling at the mat. It was driving me nuts.
It was weight mania.
Yeah, it was weight mania.
That's what Jack Victory talked about with us. How he hated the waiting.
Mm-hmm.
But you put
Which
in you get Archer in there with Hobbs just trading and throwing each other around. That's good stuff.
yeah.
House fights.
So why did we need an 8-man scramble where we knew who
Because
was going to win?
well, they needed smaller guys in there so the big guys had somebody to throw around. They got to have the high spots to pop the crowd here and there.
You know, there would have been one of the smaller guys that I would have been okay with them
Magnus,
winning. Bite me.
you know what? You laugh. I told you this. I wouldn't put it past Tony to put that title shot on somebody that nobody's ever heard of.
I know.
It's a
But
dream match.
yeah, for
It's a
him.
dream match. Magnus and Samoa Joe. Everybody's been clamoring for this for 10 years.
Oh, do you realize how many walkaways we would get in that one?
Yeah. And then you have to
That'd be
tell
awesome.
then you have to tell Tony, no, it's not Brutus Magnus, it's Magnus. Because remember, Aldis and Joe were tag team champions once upon a time.
Yeah. Now, see, I would be okay with if Hook would have won. If Hook would have won, I would have been okay with it.
I like Hook.
I do like Hook.
Hook has a lot of upside.
He does.
Dante Martin needs to get the traction fixed on his shoes. He was sliding all over the place in that match.
He scares me.
He makes me nervous. Ever since he broke his leg, he makes me nervous.
Well, and he about did it again.
Just about, yeah. He's got to slow down.
Yeah.
We've told this to some of the kids in 0-1. They got to slow down a little bit.
And they have. They actually
They
listen
have.
to us.
Yeah, even though we don't know the first thing about being a
We don't know
wrestler.
the first thing about wrestling, but if
One of
you
these days, I'm
slow
going to
down
get
a little
Joey to.
bit,
One of these days, I'm going to ask Joey to teach me how to take a bump, just so I can actually relate it to doing
certain
this.
people,
What?
nothing. Let's go on. I'll fill you in later.
Uh-huh. All right. So moving on. So Wardlow was the obvious. He was going to win just because he's the one that's been getting the TV time. It wasn't Jericho.
Thank goodness. I began to wonder.
Hmm. Uh, all right. So Roderick Strong versus Orange Cassidy, AEW International
Mm,
Championship. What?
Was that next, or was FTR and Claudio? And
No, it's well, according to the list I've got, Roderick and Orange is next.
okay,
So we'll go by that.
okay.
Uh, Overall, not. I like Roderick Strong in the ring, even if his character is insufferable. But
You know what? Here's the sad part. I think with that match, I think I would have liked that match, but I hate both the characters. So I honestly did not care. Coolest thing about that match was the end when the homeless guy came out and jumped the
oh, they
rail.
brought a hobo out
They
to
brought a hobo,
for
formerly
those that
known as
didn't
Kyle
watch.
O'Reilly.
He did he. It was great to see Kyle back. I'm glad.
It
I hope he's
was.
healthy. He did not look well.
No.
He was disheveled and had bags under his eyes, and I hope that's not a character.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Oh, yeah, I can see Tony ruining Kyle just like he did Adam and Roddy and MJF.
All the rest of them.
Hmm. Kyle
Lethal.
should have just lethal. Kyle should have got out while he could, go MLW and team up with Bobby Fish again.
There you go.
Which, by the way, as a tangent, I watched MLW Intimidation Games on Thursday.
Uh-huh.
Fantastic,
Was it
great
good?
show. It was so good. Uh, all
You'll have
kinds
to
of
send me the
people in
link
there.
so I can watch it.
It's on Fight. If you got Fight Plus or Triller
Is
Plus, you can get it.
I don't have Plus. I just got Fight. I have to buy
Okay,
it, I guess.
it might be on YouTube. Keep an eye out.
I'll
But
check.
yeah, good stuff on there though. Let's see. So
Like I said, Roddy got the belt, which I'm okay
hopefully
with
that'll
that.
do something for the belt. And
Well, and I hope Orange actually takes some time off and actually heals up. Because
yeah,
I
he
don't
looked like
think
the mummy with all that tape on his
there's
torso.
so much tape.
Does
And you
Tony
put
own stock in kinesio tape?
must because there's so much tape, and then you're going to put him there in a match with a guy that's known for backbreakers.
Hmm.
You dumbass.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Chris Van Vliet released his latest episode of this podcast last week, and it was an interview with Roddy, and it's actually a really informative thing. He talked about his AEW run, but also he went into like some of his like how he came up in the business, all that kind of stuff. It was a good listen.
See, I loved him at NXT. I loved Roddy at NXT,
I loved him more in Ring of Honor. I'll be honest with you,
which I
but
can understand that.
never seen so much tape on such a small set of ribs, says AJ.
Well, it's the truth.
Yeah,
It's the truth.
yeah. Hey, can I say real quick how happy I am that we actually have people watching on Facebook because we thought earlier today that it was going to be impossible
Right.
with the big meta outage that took a few
Got a
hours to
little
get
nervous
straight.
earlier. Yep.
But we had you. We still have YouTube, so we were gonna have
We do.
we were gonna get our message out there. Uh,
Yep.
okay, so have we said everything we need to say about the AEW match?
Yes. The AEW match? Yeah, sure.
The
The
well, the
AEW match.
international match, international championship. It's been a long day.
I get it. Believe me.
All right. Next up, there we get the Blackpool Combat Club against FTR. I I mean, it was a good match.
First of all, Mox didn't bleed.
Mox didn't bleed. No, Dax did.
Dax did, but Mox didn't.
Uh,
And I
I think
legit
we
think it was an accident. I think it was Hardway. I don't think
yeah,
that was intentional.
probably yeah. I think we all agreed that we think that was the best match Moxley's had in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you're in the ring with Claudio and FTR, you're going to have a good match, no matter how you try to screw it up.
Well, when you're in a match that somebody else can call it
Hmm.
and say and have it make sense,
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, it was
Bari
hard
says,
way.
yeah, it was hard way. AJ says, solid match, wrong winners. I kind of agree.
I agree,
I don't
but
know what they're doing with FTR.
they're gonna bury
They,
him. Just watch.
ugh.
They're gonna put him in that. They're gonna put him in that
That,
tournament. Oh,
yep,
sorry,
yep.
sorry. I'll
What
stop.
tournament?
There is no tournament. I don't know what you're talking about.
But no, it was a good match. I very rarely see FTR have bad matches. AJ says, I popped for Claudio and Mox doing the
I
old
did
kid
too.
Cesaro swing. Although I know that better as the Kings of Wrestling
That's
swing
true
into
because
a
it
drop
was,
kick. Chris
yeah,
Hero used to do it
Chris
first.
Hero used to do it. But
Take that down there. But no, that was when they do it well. I mean, Moxley didn't time it the best.
no, but
Like
it was
Hero,
still.
he could do it perfectly, and Kid could do it perfectly.
I would say Kid could do it perfectly too.
Yeah, Kid was so good. Man, he got such a
He
bad
was.
break when he got hurt because I think he'd still be doing it right now
Oh, I think he
if
would
he
be
was
too. I think he'd be one of the top stars of WWE right now if he was still doing it. I really do. And
maybe.
I don't think Cesaro would ever left if Kid was still there.
I don't think we would have had the bar if Tyson had stayed healthy.
That's true.
That's the only kicker because I like the bar.
Yeah, I like the bar. We are the bar.
We are the bar, you know.
We are the bar.
All right. So, do you anything else you want to add about that tag team match, Minderz? The fact that we think the wrong team won, but it was a good match.
Nah, that was in the okay match. That wasn't a great
Yeah,
match for me, but that was in the okay.
yeah.
That was in the okay area.
There were three. I'll say three great matches on that show.
That you and I agreed on. Yes.
Right. And and one of them is the next one. Tony
Yes.
almost fooled me with that
Oh yeah.
entrance for Tony Storm against Deonna Purrazzo.
Oh,
When
he
they hit
almost
Tony,
had me fooled
when
too.
they hit Tony's old music, and then out comes Mariah May with the old get up.
I popped. I did because I thought, are we seriously? And then I was like, oh
I
well,
was
never
I was
mind.
kind of relieved because I really like Tony's gimmick
Mm,
currently, but no, that is a catchy tune though. The old Tony music
it
from back in the
is.
day.
It is. Back in the
Uh,
day, like 2
yeah,
years ago, but okay.
yeah. I really liked this match. I really liked the finish of this match.
I did. I was actually real impressed with this match.
Hmm.
I was expecting a lot of gaga, a lot of craziness.
A lot of Luther.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was solid. It was very well worked. You could tell that the chemistry was there between them. And I think that's what made a big difference. Since they have known each other for so long, they knew what each other could do. They knew what
Yeah,
they could
well,
get away with.
it's the familiarity. You know, they.
Yeah.
Bari, I'm confused, my friend, with this comment. You said them doing that soured the main event. Too many pronouns. I need you to specify there. Uh,
But so yeah. I mean, I was okay with it. Oh.
just the right amount of Gaga
Oh, I see
in that
what
match.
he's saying with this because Sting's
Oh, okay,
kids.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
yeah,
gotcha. We follow
yeah,
now.
I gotcha. So this match was number two of my three great matches,
Yes.
and
I was wrong. The next one wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
the next one I thought was the best match of the night.
Oh, okay.
Assuming that we're
Yes.
in the
Yes. This was match of the night. I
yeah,
jumped ahead one. I jumped ahead one. I was thinking the
yeah,
triple threat.
yeah. No, it's the Osprey Takeshita matches after this.
It was great.
Oh man, this was the showcase that I've been waiting for Takeshita since he got there.
And
They made
for
Takeshita look like a friggin' dynamo.
beasts. Yes.
Yeah,
I for a girl that doesn't like flippy dippy shit, and with as much flippy dippy shit that was in that, I was surprised how much I did like it. But
yeah,
it made sense. That's the big part. It made
yeah.
sense to me.
Well, the thing is, Osprey back in the day, like you go back and you watch the matches he had, like with Ricochet or any of the junior heavyweights in New Japan. But you look at him now after he had his neck surgery, when he's put weight on, he's built himself into a friggin' a dynamo. He looks great, and he's wrestling smarter for the most part.
Yeah.
Now there's
Well,
one spot in that match that made me scratch my head
Ugh.
that I thought, oh shit, they killed him. And that's the
The
attempted
turnbuckle spot.
brainbuster on the turnbuckle, where they just
Oh
missed
my
it
god.
completely, and Osprey just fell straight down on his head. I was like, fuck, they're gonna kill this kid in his first match
Did you
under
see his
contract.
did you see his back?
Oh yeah, right there.
Yeah.
It's like
Did you listen to the scrum or no?
I did not listen to the scrum.
Okay. So during the scrum, Osprey's on there. I think he's the first one that comes out. And he's actually everybody was asking him about his back. He actually pulls his pants down. It is all the way down half of his ass cheek and
Oh,
all the way up to like
I
middle
hope he
of his
didn't
back.
rupture something.
It's all on the side. It's all on the side. It's not on the back.
Okay, so it's not the
It's
liver
it's
or the
all like
kidneys or
right
anything.
it's all like right here.
Like a mother of a rug burn.
Yes. No, that doesn't make you a
Oh,
poser.
Stacy.
You know better. Oh boy.
What's
Hold
that?
on. NXT
What?
breaking news. NXT Dijak and Gacy steel cage with weapons is up first tonight.
They saw the main event of Revolution and was like, hold my beer.
Watch this.
Here's how you do it.
All right.
But no,
Yeah.
the striking, both those guys just knocking the crap out of each other with those forearms. And I know that they're, their work, but man, watching Takeshita throw those forearms, it looked brutal.
Well, they
Just
can
if
be a
you're,
work, but whoever's selling knows what the hell they're doing, though, too.
that's right.
So,
But yeah, I think it was a great. I know it's not an intro for Osprey. He's had matches, but his first under contract to AEW,
mhm.
and probably the best opponent he could have had for that
In
first
all
match.
honesty, yes. Yeah.
And then also Takeshi, like I said, this was Takeshi's coming out party.
Yeah. And had he worked with Osprey, I assume, in New Japan or no?
No, this is the first
Oh,
time.
okay. Okay.
Takeshita was a DDT guy, and Osprey
Oh,
was in New
okay.
Japan, so they never crossed
They
paths.
never crossed paths.
According to Excalibur, anyway.
Okay,
So,
so now I got to consider the
uh,
source. Okay.
Mr. Greatest Announcer of all time, if you ask Tony Schiavone on the air. Easy, easy.
I'm trying real hard.
Oh, they're trying really hard to get. I mean, I get trying to put the young talent over, but JR and Tony were kind of overdoing it, putting over Excalibur on that pay-per-view.
Little bit.
Just a skosh.
But I have decided that Osprey is the new Olivier, according to
I say he's
Meltzer.
better than Olivier.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to be Meltzer's golden child until Omega comes back. But as
Yep.
far as like pure talent, I think Osprey is catapulted
He
up
is
to the top
really good.
of
Yes.
as far as best guys that they have. I will be very surprised if they don't put the belt on Swerve in the meantime. If they don't have Osprey win that title at Wembley, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah. Well,
Osprey and Joe,
I can't. Maybe. I'm not.
maybe.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Just because. Are we going to get
you
Swerve?
cannot.
Are we going to get
It seems
Swerve
like
and
there's
Joe?
going to be another. I think we're going to get Swerve and Page again.
God. Why?
I'm sorry.
Why?
Yeah, but we'll get to that three-way here in a minute. But
anyway, so the end of this match, Osprey of course won. End of this match, Kyle Fletcher comes out though.
Right, and
I'm
you may not.
I'm a Kyle Fletcher fan, so
Now,
I like
do you know that they are stablemates in Japan?
Yes.
They were both in the United Empire.
Yes.
I think this is what they do.
Yes.
And they're going to be wrestling on Dynamite, right?
I know, and I want to see that match.
Non-title. Kyle is the Ring of Honor TV champion.
Right.
But
still,
Osprey already held that title. He doesn't need it again.
Nah. In all honesty, Osprey doesn't need a title right now until he can get until he can get the heavyweight.
Yeah. First thing he should get belt-wise is that world title.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, he's already IWGP heavyweight champion before, so. He never lost it either. He never lost it because he was. That's when he got hurt and he had his neck surgery.
Oh no. But yeah, I
So
would say I'm excited to see Kyle Fletcher and him go at it, especially knowing they were stablemates. Can you imagine the
yeah,
chemistry that's going to be there and they're going to
right.
pull? And I'm
Shoot,
excited.
Fletcher lived in his house when
Right.
Aussie Open moved to England.
Yeah.
It's another one of
Yep.
those Tony Diana things where they're just very familiar with each other.
Yes.
Bari
Ooh,
says Osprey will win the Owen this year.
I could see that.
Maybe. I can see it. Yeah, I can definitely see it. All right, let's talk world title Minders. Samoa Joe defeating Swerve Strickland and Hangman Page. Page is the one that got choked out, and there's a lot of intrigue.
No, he tapped out.
Well, he lost. That's what I
He
meant to say.
lost.
But anyway, so everybody's speculating. Did he do it because he was going to lose, or did he do it to keep Swerve from winning?
I think he did to keep Swerve from winning.
I think you're right. And I think that's why we're
Still
going to
my
get
favorite spot of
another
that that entire match.
walk away.
Joe's walk away. I love that walk away.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's just like, really, dude? Screw you.
You're going to make me look like an idiot, aren't you?
Yep, I am. Watch. Hold my beer. Watch this.
I'll say this though, in that match, there were spots in that match where I thought any of the three could have won.
Oh yes, yeah.
And
Well,
I
you
was
you
fully
scared me.
expecting Hangman to get the win just because Tony.
Tony. I love how our excuses for everything is Tony. Yeah, he can be up there now. See, even AJ agrees with me. The best move in all of
Oh,
wrestling is Joe's walking away.
it's definitely the most effective move in all of wrestling.
It is. I still say that the one guy, I don't even remember who it was, that he's like going like this in the
Oh yeah,
middle of
he's
the
looking.
air.
Yeah, I don't know who it was, but that
I can't
picture
remember
is
who it was, but that picture is
that's such a good
classic.
picture. I need to find that picture.
Because that was hilarious. Where the guy's just John Cruz.
John Cruz, in relation to Tom?
No, because it's spelled Cruz.
Ah,
AJ put it. Our fact checker did it for us.
thank you, fact checking AJ. There we go.
Yes, 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 yes. That picture right there. I love that picture. It's my favorite. That is
And
probably
what's he gonna say? Hey, you're making me look bad. And Joe's like,
well,
piss
don't
off.
make me wait.
That just makes Joe seem like the coolest guy in the biz when he just walks
Right?
away like that.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
but without the mask.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's what he does. He works a lot of enhancement matches on the side when he's not in gimmick. Sorry, kayfabe.
Kayfabe. It's AEW. There is no such thing as kayfabe
That's true.
anymore.
Kayfabe has died a miserable death
Dead.
in AEW
Yes, it has.
thanks to these guys.
Yeah, thanks. Well, anyways, Joe kept his belt. I was glad to see he kept take that one down.
Yeah, Joe's the one I wanted to win that match
Yeah.
far and away.
If it wasn't going to be Swerve, it had to be Joe. Anybody but Paige, I was fine.
I did not want it to be Swerve. I think it's, and I had a similar reasoning to what I heard on Busted Open. Bully said something. It wasn't exactly the same as mine. I thought it was going to get diminished by being in a three-way match.
Mm-hmm.
But Bully said he thought it would have been diminished by being on the same show as Sting's retirement.
Ah.
Which makes
That makes
sense because
Yeah.
everybody's going to be talking about Sting no matter what happens. So,
Huh. Yep.
oh, AJ chiming in. Wanted Swerve to win, but I'm never going to be upset at Joe win. I love
Yeah,
Joe.
exactly. We all love Joe.
Yes.
And
Oh,
he's
my
actually
goodness.
he's actually getting a real run this time instead of
Yeah.
I was scared they were going to use him as a transition champion, but
Me too, because he's an older guy. I hear
Yep.
Ruckus. Are you home? Okay.
Yes, I heard the yes.
Okay. All right. So we can put it off no longer, Minders.
We might make some people mad. And I apologize.
We
I'm going to apologize in advance. But that was the dumbest way to send off
I
Turned higher
apologize
green.
for nothing. That match was awful.
Garbage. It was terrible.
And the fact, and I'm not, everybody likes what they like, and that's fine. I
Hmm.
don't judge anybody. But all the people saying that that was the greatest match since sliced bread is just like, what the hell are you guys watching?
Yeah.
You get,
Uh, did we
it
see? Did
wasn't
we
even the
see a
best match
different
on the
match?
show.
I'll say, did we
I'm,
see a different match than everybody else?
I'll say this, and I never say this. The MVPs of that match were the Young Bucks.
Mm.
And I know it sounds crazy, but they were the ones getting the heat, and they were making Sting look like he was going to lose. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, well,
Gimmickville. It's AEW.
yeah. Greatest retirement ever. Just ask Tony. Which one?
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Scott. I mean, they put Sting over, but what was the point of the glass? I'm
They could
sorry. When
have.
I think of Sting, I don't think a hardcore match.
No, I mean he's had a few. I mean, I remember the match with Bully Ray and TNA was actually really good when Bully hit him with the pile driver on the exposed wood on the in the ring in the title match.
But
But
that's
that made
still not.
sense.
I was gonna
That
say
made
you're not.
sense because the stipulation on that match was that if Sting lost, he could never challenge for that title again. So that's Bully just doing whatever he has to do to put him out. That made sense. This is just Bari says Sting wanted all that. I'm gonna disagree. I mean, I'm sure he was okay with everything, but again, they were talking a lot about Sting on Monday on Busted Open, and
Oh, I
I know
bet.
I go back to them a lot, but it was Bully and LaGreca, and Bully was telling about that match where he did the pile driver on the wood, and he went to Sting and he asked Sting what he wanted to do, and Sting basically told him, "I'll do whatever you want." I've got a feeling
Yeah.
that this is the same thing. He just said, you guys do whatever you want, and I'll do it." And telling those three jokers to do whatever you want
Yeah.
is a recipe for disaster because number one, Darby used the wrong kind of glass because I've seen glass used in death matches. It's not that kind of that's thicker glass. You don't want the thick glass.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, I hope whoever got glass in their eye in the front row isn't blind now.
Right. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that
Lawsuit,
lawsuit.
right? And
Although it was, I will say it was cool to see Sting's sons come out in his old gear.
oh, everything was great till the bell rang.
Yeah, everything was great till the bell rang. It was great
The
seeing
video that
Ricky.
they did before he came
That
out
vignette was
was
very
very
good,
cool. Yeah,
except it's missing everything from WCW.
they had still photos.
They pictures,
Yeah, I mean,
but
and for all you know, maybe if I don't know if Tony asked if he could use that footage. I don't
yeah,
know if WWE would have offered if asked for it. It was Barry's asking if it was. It reminded me of the glass in the King of the Ring match, McMahon and Angle when they were throwing him through the.
oh, that tempered. Oh,
But that was like quadruple thick glass, but it would not
yeah,
break.
yeah,
But but when you saw Darby after he went through that glass, you saw big fucking shards of glass in his back.
yeah.
That doesn't happen with like the glass they use like in a GCW death match. That stuff just goes into small pieces and it's still
It
going to
goes
cut
to
you up. But
powder. Yeah,
AJ says it was reported AEW did not ask WWE for the footage. Then nobody can complain. That's on
yeah.
Tony.
Nobody can complain then. That was on Tony because I mean, come on, Sting's more known for WCW than anything else.
Right? Hey, they could have even asked for TNA footage if they wanted to.
They could have, but they didn't.
No, I mean it was cool seeing the New Japan footage.
Yeah.
Uh,
Rick taking the super kicks. I was pretty sure
Steamboat,
they
I was
killed him.
okay. Steamboat was I was okay with because that spot made sense, taking the belt away from Nick Thew
Yeah,
or Metallus, whichever one it was.
whichever one it was.
Yeah, and then he can take a bump. He can take a super kick.
Hmm.
But as soon as they kicked him, I just see old ass Ric Flair wandering into the ring in the background. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? And
Well, and
uh,
I thought that was where the turn was going to come, where he was going to turn on Sting again.
I was wondering. I was wondering about that.
And
Barry, yes, he had 5 TNA World Title runs, and we've seen nothing from there. Yep, that's true. Oh, sorry. But
But
a lot of Gaga in that match.
a lot of Gaga.
Uh, Bar, Darby's back looked like a crime scene
It
after
did.
that friggin' glass spot.
Wife's
Sting
giving you
is,
updates.
yeah. Uh, I did, I didn't like the use of the glass. I did see one cool shot from a fan cell phone that was, he or she, I don't know who it was. They were right behind the corner where the glass was set up when they threw Sting through it.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked cool from the back, just from that, just artistically.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to be Sting.
Yeah. That was my thing. Like,
AJ, shut your hole. That was my just, that's what he was thinking.
that
Yeah,
was
he had a couple cans of that woo energy filled up on woo wings before he went out there.
was Fungi
Like,
got a hold of his brain. It's all right. But
you didn't hear that, did you?
maybe, but we'll move on.
I had to get up to adjust my seat cushion, and then yeah.
It happens. It
Moving on.
happens.
Moving
Moving
on.
on. But
Uh,
and then of course Flair did his goodbye speech that got cut off. And
Sting did.
oh, that's what I meant. Sting did.
Uh, I did like that they had Sting and Darby go over because everybody was assuming that it was going to be the Bucks winning
I
and
was
taking the belts.
surprised when Sting when Darby went over. I was real surprised.
After the second BTE EVP Do Re Mi trigger that the Bucks
Do
did,
re
I figured Sting was going to win.
Can we please start calling it the Do Re Mi trigger? Can we
Why not?
please? Let's do it. Let's come up with our own. But yeah, and they're shaking his hand. Thank you for everything you've done. I was like,
Which that's a deep
I,
cut from back when they went to the dark matches in WWE because they wouldn't shake hands with Booker, and that got him some heat.
yeah,
Uh,
I,
I did kind of chuckle at the "We're not sorry, we hate you" before the super
yeah,
kick,
that's true.
but
But yeah,
yeah,
that whole thing was just a mess, in my opinion. If it had been, I would have been upset. That'd have been my retirement match. But I'm not a wrestler, so
yeah.
maybe I don't know. But
So
yeah.
I mean, if Sting's happy with it, bless
If
him.
Sting's
It's
happy with
good
it,
for
then more
him.
power to him.
But right, it's just not the way we would have done it. Uh, I'm salivating at the idea of the next experience to hear Jim Cornette talk about that match.
It's okay. So the drive-through is up, but it does not have it on yet.
No, no,
So
no.
it's going to be
It'll
the
be on the
experience.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm, oh, you have no idea. You have no idea. I'm so
Can we
excited
all
about
just
the
get together
experience.
and put that on and just sit
Have a
there
big
as a group and
listening
listen to
party.
it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because, oh, if Corny makes it, that far,
Oh.
because,
Oh.
yeah. That I have a feeling that 8-man scramble is going to do him in, but that's beside the point.
He's a trooper. He's a trooper.
He
I
is
think
a
he'll be all right.
trooper. He is a trooper.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, yeah, I thought it was ridiculous that Tony couldn't time the pay-per-view, a 4 hour long pay-per-view, to let Sting get his whole speech in on the air.
5 hours if you watch 0 Hour.
If you watch the 0 hour, yeah.
Because
And
it went 6 to
in
11. I was so
mid-sentence,
tired.
it went off the air
Yeah.
in mid-sentence.
He's like, I'm getting cues. I got to stop. It's like,
Don't
but
tell
then,
people that. Just,
oh no. So then in the scrum,
hmm
you missed this part. If you watch the
I didn't watch the
scrum,
scrum. So,
Sting and Darby are out there because they had kind of gotten Darby stitched up. He had big old like bandages on his back.
at least put a shirt on him. When he
Nope,
goes
they
back.
didn't. They didn't.
Ugh, fucking Darby.
But he Sting was out there and Tony said, "Well, we're just going to put it up on YouTube so everybody can hear your farewell speech." And I was like, "Really? Really?"
Kind of a fuck you to the fans that paid for the pay-per-view, isn't it?
That's kind
They
of what
paid
I
60
thought.
bucks to watch the whole thing, and then. But you know what? I'm never gonna knock free content just as out of
Mm-mm.
principle. But still, I mean, come on. They could
But
have.
still,
You know what? They could have even done it where, like, how remember when Flair retired in '08? They could have done it on Dynamite. Have Sting come out, give him the
yeah,
main event time, and let him make his speech and all that stuff.
They could have, but
Give him all the time he wanted, but no.
nah. We're
That
going to put it up on
fuzzy-headed,
YouTube.
that fuzzy-headed dipshit in the corner says no.
Dwayne, some people paid 60.
But if you, I think Dwayne ordered on Comcast. There's probably 50 there, but we do Bleacher Report just for. We never have issues with the Bleacher Report. I mean, obviously people had problems Sunday,
Well,
but
AJ did, but
AJ, I think a lot of people did, from what AJ
yeah,
was telling me.
AJ said there was a lot of people in there that was complaining about it.
But
But
yeah, so it is what it is. Sting's retired. What did you think of Michael Cole and Pat McAfee talking about Sting on Raw last night?
I thought that was pretty cool.
I thought it was classy.
Honestly, yeah, I think it. Well, and I think, I mean, that's just speaking to WWE's past too. I mean, Sting had been there, so why not
Right,
acknowledge the fact that he was
right.
there?
And it also says something for the new regime because you wonder if Vince would have allowed that if he was running things still.
I think he would have. I think with it being Sting, I think he would have. Because it
I think
wasn't
he would
like
have.
Sting. It wasn't like Sting left on bad terms.
No,
Sting left because he got hurt and his contract right now.
yeah. I think fans are more upset with how that ended than Sting was. I know Sting kind of had some hard feelings for Seth after he got hurt, but because it was that buckle bomb.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that had a lot to say
Yeah,
about that buckle bomb.
yeah,
I remember that.
yeah. A lot of
Because Bret
armchair
Hart was up in
quarterbacks.
arms about it.
Yeah, ain't that a kick in the head?
I
I'm
see
sorry,
what you
that
did
was
there.
wrong.
I
That
see
was
what you
wrong.
did there.
So maybe they would have let him mention Sting's retirement match, but I don't know if they would have let Pat say the match was epic.
Yeah. And again, he said that, and I was like, are we all watching the same match?
Well, I mean, you gotta, you know, I mean, I think Pat probably enjoyed that one because, Pat, he gets a little excitable.
He does. He does. But like I said, all in all, and people are saying it was the best pay per view that AEW's had, and I'm like, I don't know about all
Somebody
that.
said it was the best pay-per-view of the year. This is the only one they've had this year.
Smart people love it. Oh,
Oh my
they did
goodness.
announce. We got to talk about it. They did announce that the next pay per view is Dynasty, and
Yes.
that popped me and
You got, you
AJ.
got the wheels spinning a little bit there.
Yeah, that popped
Now,
me and AJ. Your
and
comment cracked me up, but it popped me and AJ.
yeah, my brain went somewhere else.
Your brain went somewhere totally different. We
Yeah,
actually had two different brains then.
yeah, yeah, you guys speculated because you thought that was going to be where MJF comes back
Yep, we think
because
MJF
obviously
and
he had his
hopefully
group. His group was the Dynasty,
was the Dynasty. So
but
hopefully,
it'll be without Hammerstone though. Hammerstone signed with TNA.
oh, we did.
Yeah, they made that official last week. Holiday's
Oh,
still around.
we saw a Holiday. That'd be all
Yeah,
right. That'd be fine.
yeah, I like Holiday. He's got
But
a lot of
I
talent
still
there.
think it's gonna be when MJF comes back.
Yeah. See, I thought it was Dynasty because they just hired a bunch of soap opera people to help with their creative.
Yeah,
And I said, the next pay-per-view is going to be AEW Knots Landing.
which did pop at me, but I was like, wow, that wasn't where my head went. But yeah, okay, I see where you're coming from. And
Oh,
AJ
oh
and
my
I are
goodness.
both like, totally went to MJF for us.
I dated myself with my 80s soap opera references.
AEW Days of Our Lives. Very nice, AJ. Very nice.
Bravo. There's all kinds of
As
them.
the world turns.
All right. So,
Wrestling show to
uh,
soap opera show. It's not that
so
much of a stretch, but
not really. I guess it should be. You mentioned something to me also from the Scrum Menders that at the end of March, Darby's going to begin his epic quest to summit Mount Everest.
yep, Darby's supposed to be gone at the end of March.
Falcon Crest. Yes. I said that Sunday too. I said no, I said Knots Landing, but Falcon
No, you
Crest was
said
on my
Knots
mind too.
Landing. You said Knots
Lorenzo
Landing.
Lamas.
But yeah, they did say during Scrum, Darby said that he's going to be leaving at the end of March.
Well,
So with all these shenanigans, that has brought up that now they have said, can I say it now? that there's going to be a tag team
Yes.
tournament because
Yes. The
there's not
titles
enough
have been
tag team.
retired, have been forfeited.
Yes, they've been vacated.
Yes. I wonder which tag teams are going to make it into the tournament. I hope FTR.
I hope FTR.
I would assume Mox and Claudio.
Yep.
Probably
Bucks.
the Bucks, Top Flight, Private Party. Probably. We don't know how many teams are in this tournament.
Right. Well, let's try to
Probably.
come up with at least 8.
Okay.
There'll be at
Hang on.
least 8.
Hang on. I'm going to make a list here as we go. All right. So we got
Okay.
FTR.
Uh-huh.
Nope, not 4. Damn auto type. All
Mine does
right,
that too.
Mox. Not Max. Damn technology. All right, Mox and Claudio, Bucks. Private Party.
Dwayne, FTR should win. They should. They're not
Should.
going to.
No. Top Flight.
You had Private Party.
Got Private Party. Dark Order.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're Tony's
Somebody.
buddies. Let's see.
Barry just put up.
Oh, the Guns.
Yes. Representatives of the patriarchy. That would be
Lucha and Nick Wayne.
Lucha and Nick Wayne. I don't know if they'll do that.
Maybe not. I think Christian wants anybody else to have gold in that group.
Hardys.
Ugh, please no.
Lucha Brothers.
Well, if Phoenix is back yet, it might be Penta and Commander.
Careful, don't be a CMLL guy.
Oh, God forbid. The Acclaimed.
Yeah, I don't know if they will or not. It's kind of like the Guns. I'm not sure if the Guns will or not either. They both have the trios tag team championship belts.
That's true. Hang on, I need to reboot my headset.
Yeah, reboot, please. Hey, why don't you play commercial? We're taking a break. Here's our commercial.
All right. Can you hear me?
You're back.
I'm back. I couldn't hear the audio on the video, so I was hoping that worked.
Yep, it did.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, is that all we want to talk about AEW? That's kind of all I want to talk about AEW.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with this tournament.
Okay.
Okay. So there.
Go ahead.
I said there's something that needs to be discussed. Coming out of last week's episode with the fantasy draft, because I got a very concerned phone call from my brother while he was listening to the show. He could not figure out.
Overlook?
Well, no, he was more concerned with how late some of the people went. And his question was, what is the goal of the fantasy draft? Are we trying to win? Is it like, are we trying to beat the other people, like picking the best rosters, all that? And I don't think we've ever actually discussed what the objective is of the fantasy draft when we do it.
We haven't.
Basically, it's the idea that all four of us.
For me, it's who can I make salty by who I can steal. But that's kind of my prerogative. I want to see who I can make mad by the people I can steal.
Well, I think the general goal, at least with me, is picking my roster usually has kind of a running theme to it.
Hmm.
For example, the '80s one, it had the Freebirds and the Von Erichs, had the Horsemen and Dusty, had running feuds. This one, when I look back at my roster, and we have I uploaded on YouTube like a truncated version of the draft, like with the without the actual picking, but it's like a recap.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
actually, I'll probably play that at some point. It's a few minutes long, but for those that missed it, we can show that. But my roster is very Japan heavy, and
Hmm.
not only with Japanese talent, but also with guys that made their bones in Japan.
Right.
So like then that way I get like Vader against Sid or Vader against Mike Awesome. I get Steiner's and the Miracle Violence connection, Fire and Ice against either one of those guys. And it's where my head goes is you like what card would I pay to see and what is the best card that you could put on? And it's easy to go for the obvious people like your Hogans, your Goldbergs, all that. But I
We
like
didn't
to
even
have
have them on ours, did we?
uh AJ had Hogan because he picked the
As the
NWO.
NWO.
Like I had Savage, but we didn't pick Goldberg. We didn't pick Luger.
Nope.
Which, if I'd had one more pick, I would have picked Luger. Full disclosure.
I think
But
mine would have been pretty good.
yeah, I think everybody would have had a pretty good thing. You know what? It's a 4-minute video. Do you want to just run it in the
Yeah,
kind of
go ahead.
as a recap? If you have to use the can, Minderz, now is the time because it'll give you.
I'm gonna sit here and eat my popcorn.
Okay. All right. Enjoy the production quality that I put in a lot
We
of work
did a
in
lot
this.
of work on this.
All right. Here we go.
Self high five. DDP. Too cool.
Okay, so for those that missed the episode, that's where we're at there. I think my brother was most disturbed by Dean Malenko being the first overall pick,
Ah,
which I don't think is a knock because I know he likes Dean Malenko, but I think he couldn't understand why like a Hogan or a Sting or somebody wouldn't go first.
that's because I think a lot of it is that we all are we try not to go for the low hanging fruit. Like, I know it sounds bad, but to me those are the obvious picks. I'd rather not. When I do mine, I personally try not to do the obvious pick.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Dwayne says he's shocked at how low the Road Warriors went. I'm
I
honestly
got the
not.
Road Warriors.
You got the Road Warriors. I'm not surprised at how low they went because I don't really remember them for their WCW run because that was post LOD in WWF, and then they had a kind of a short run in '96 when they came back.
Yeah. Looky there.
Look at that.
Looking good.
Yep. Coming soon to a mall near me. Uh, but yeah, so that's kind of where our heads are at when we make our picks. We're not just picking stars; we're picking matchups.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's just kind of how this is what we do when we're just hanging out. We just talk shit and do
Yeah, if
that
y'all
anyway.
think that we like plan for these podcasts, yeah, we don't. We do to an extent.
To an extent. Yeah.
To an extent, but it's not like hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours of research. It's like just what we know.
No. Right.
And sometimes we have to do a little bit of research, but it's nothing super crazy.
No.
But Reb, before I know we got Hall of
one
Fame
more
coming
order
up,
of business. Yeah.
but can I cut in and tell you about my weekend?
Sure. Oh yes, you went to some wrestling over the weekend.
I went to some wrestling. Bari and I actually jumped in the car, took off, and went down to or over to Brazil, Indiana. Dwayne, Rey Mysterio was picked by Bari. It was in
The Filthy Animals.
yeah, the Filthy Animals.
Maskless Rey Mysterio.
Yes.
That's why you probably didn't see him because he didn't have his mask on.
He's not John Cena. Sorry, couldn't help it. So Bari and I jumped in the car. We went over to go see Signal 10. And it was different. Very different. A lot of guys we know from 01. Well, not necessarily all 01, but a lot of guys we know from Hybrid. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Logan Myers is their new champ, which means that in May, Bari, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's May, Logan Myers has to defend the championship belt against Jake Oman.
Oh. Who'd he piss off?
Yeah, exactly. Well, Jake wasn't there to take his spot in the tournament. So he had won the previous match that when I went back in December. So yeah, we're hoping we can go.
Yeah.
I think
Future guest
just,
Jake Oman,
yep.
by the way.
So it came down to your new favorite, Jay Silva, Aaron Atlas, and Logan Myers. And I really thought Aaron was going to win it. We did have an impromptu match between Sage Phillips and Ace Perry.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, Sage won.
Okay. I saw Ace on GCW on Saturday night.
Oh.
They were in Indianapolis and on the old Triller Plus. I had the Nate Webb 25th anniversary show on, and he was on there.
Nice. Actually, I think I saw that on Ace's Facebook. So
him and Josh Crane and Chip Cassidy.
Right. Sage tapped Ace out, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he have his glasses on?
No.
Okay.
He did at the beginning, but then he took them off. basically that was about all the main matches. I mean, because you had all the qualifiers to get in the ladder match. Jared Savage, if you remember, he was one of the guys that did the pre-show match with DLC at one of the Terre Haute
Yes.
shows.
Big guy, yeah.
Big guy.
Should I get Tony off of the corner?
Please. I don't care who you put in the corner. Oh,
Since he was just retired, I put Sting up there.
that's Danhausen, but okay.
I don't have a Sting, so that's the best
I
I
forgot
can do.
we had the Wish Usos, as Barry called them, which was highlight reel versus I know I'm gonna screw this up. I gotta look it up. Adonis is one of them, and I can't remember his partner's name, but I actually saw them when I went to Indianapolis. When I went to Indianapolis to see Jake Oman, and when I saw Ace versus Jack Vaughn. So
Nice slap.
yeah, nice slap himself. But highlight reel, I like those guys. Barry couldn't decide if he liked them or not, but like he said, Wish Usos. Then that was Friday, because we legit left as soon as I got off work, and we got there just in time. Then Saturday, I got wild hair at my butt and decided to go down to. I went down to Alton to PWE.
PWE.
So,
Did you see Lenny Mephisto?
I saw Lenny. I didn't get a chance to talk with him.
Say, where the hell were you?
Hey, Scott Harden was down there though.
Hey, Scott Harden. He's a friend of our friend of the network. Scott Harden there.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, Rain.
That's because Rain is the new PWE Women's Champion down there.
Former guest here on JTR, Rain Victoria.
Benjamin Trust kept his belts.
Who did he wrestle? I forget.
Scott, help. It was a guy that I didn't know, but he was really good.
I saw a little clip of the new guys holding the doors closed.
That was so funny. The funnier part about all that was, did you see at the end where the older gentleman goes and says, "I need to get out"? He didn't. He walked out and then walked right back in. I don't know if he was in on it. I don't know. But that was humorous.
Yeah.
Aaron
something good hair.
He had great hair.
Oh, something good hair's not his name?
No.
No.
But somebody did come out and surprised Mr. Trust for who his next competitor will be.
Uh-huh.
And I think the boys might pop on this one. But Herzog is back. Herzog has challenged Benjamin Trust. For those of you that don't know who Herzog is, Herzog used to tag team with the Warhorse. Back in the day, he was part of the Viking clan.
Okay. Context. Context.
Working on it. Yes. See, I told you AJ would pop when I said Herzog. Let me look here. Brandon Aarons is who Benjamin. Well, he defeated, but with a lot of help. Camaro Jackson versus Jabari King.
Oh, you showed me some video of that one.
I did. I took lots of video of that one.
Who was the fellow on the floor jaw-jacking with ATM and Jabari toward the end when Camaro did the dive?
Oh, that was Nick Natural.
Okay. I was trying to figure that out.
Derek Fullerton is also is a new champ down there. I can't remember what the name of that belt was because they did like 4 belts that night, and I can't remember all of them. I'm sorry. Right. But that Derek Fullerton defeated Chris Hendricks, which if you're familiar with 0-1, you've seen Thursday Night Throwdown anyway. I think you've seen Chris Hendricks before. But then Derek Fullerton had to defend against our buddy, Mr. DLC. LDLC. Now, DLC didn't quite pull it off, but it was okay. Shazza McKenzie Lenny, he actually wrestled Nick Natural
Okay.
and got a chance at a briefcase. There's going to be another match with another promotion that's in the area. 2 people qualified. Lenny qualified over Nick Natural. And I think it's Marcus. Oh, Marcus Muncherson. You would like him. He's
Okay.
a big boy.
You
He's
got a
a
hoss?
big boy. He hoss. But and then Keith Smith Jr. defeated Calvin Coco. If we can get Calvin Coco up around this area, you guys would love him. He
Okay.
was a high fly. I'm not a high flying person, but again, the high flying stuff made sense. Oh yeah, ATM qualified for that thing too.
Yeah. I like that ATM.
I do like ATM.
Moneymaker
So,
LLC.
yep.
Also a
But
fun guest on the shootout. If
was
you
a
go
lot of
back
fun.
last year.
Rain Victoria though defeated Riley Knox.
I like that
And
Riley Knox.
her well, Rain's black eye looks a lot better,
Good.
but it's still a little rough.
Little puffy.
A little puffy. Well, it wasn't so much puffy as black.
Mm.
So
Goes with the gimmick.
yeah. It goes
And
down a
you
little
got
bit
to hang
lower.
out with and
I
you
got
got to hang out with some littles.
I did. I got to play with the littles. Because everybody was busy. And I was like, come here. And she said, okay.
He
So
was
I
a
had
button,
buddy.
that one.
She is. Well, there you go. AJ corrected me. Formerly 1/3 of the Viking War Party with
Yep.
Warhorse and Frank Wyatt.
Was there ever a tag match between the Viking War Party and the Wasteland War Party?
No.
For War Party supremacy?
No.
Hey, how about that video package for Max the Impaler on NWA?
That was very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I think Mims has got a rematch coming.
Whew.
Big strong Mims. I like that guy.
But
well, it sounds
that
like
pretty
you had a hell of a time over the weekend, Minderz.
I did. It was busy. Got home. I think it was like 1:00 in the morning on Saturday. Got some sleep, and then had to stay up till almost 1:00 to listen to the media scrum. And yeah, it was fun.
Did you grease any palms at the wrestling shows to get some upcoming guests?
No.
That's what I sent you there for, Minderz.
Well, I know that's what you sent me there for, but I have to explain to you how theirs is set up. It doesn't exactly make it easy to get around to talk to the wrestlers.
Uh-huh.
And some
Not
of
like
them
0-1?
No, and basically the ones that were out there was, let me see if I remember all correctly. It was Shaza, Trust, the New Guys, and LDLC.
Oh. So
I'm pretty sure I can get a hold of all them fairly easily.
Yes.
So
Shaza can be a challenge.
Shaza can be a challenge.
It's all good though.
Most of them I feel like we could get in touch with without me having to push everything. I did surprise Camaro though. He didn't know I was coming down. So that was fun. And I did get to meet Benjamin Trust's wife that's on the back of his jacket.
She seems delightful.
She hates me as much as he does.
Did she call you a dweeb?
She did.
Was that in their vows, I wonder?
I wonder. And he broke Pikachu again.
Oh, Scott, you gotta tell the boy to stop bringing the Pikachu to the...
Oh, no, they got... That's it. Now it's Trust. Trust has Pikachu.
Oh, Trust took it?
Yep. The head of the Pikachu got thrown out in the hallway, and I went to go try to get it, and...
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, no. Pikachu is now gone. Or not the big stuffed Pikachu, the little Pikachu.
Right.
The little Funko Pop Pikachu. So, there you go. There's my update from everything I went to this past weekend. I was a road warrior.
You were a road warrior, indeed.
So,
all right. Sounds like a lot of fun, Minderz. And, yeah, if I wasn't sick as a dog, I probably was going to go with you to at least one of those.
He gave it to his son so he can annoy him with it. That's great.
Very nice.
Keep trying, Scott. There you go. Now you got it. All right. Are we ready to do this Hall of Fame so we can get out of here?
Yeah, let's do that here. Just organize a touch.
Oh, do you want to, while you're organizing, can we go ahead and talk about who our guest is next week, or do you want to wait till after the Hall of Fame?
No, let's talk about it. It'll buy me a little bit of time.
I'm super excited. Next week, we have Heather Owens with
H2O.
Square Circle Expo. So excited to have her on the show. She was
She's
a blast last year. I'm sure we're going to have just as much of a blast this year.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited. Sure she'll have lots to talk about. Hopefully have any updates, any last minute things we need to be aware of. Maybe a surprise or two. We can always hope.
Maybe. Scott wants to know any hints about tomorrow night's mystery guest. I'm in the dark, buddy. I have no idea who's coming. Minderz has
Wait,
told
I
me
thought you were in charge of it.
No, I thought you were.
Oh, okay.
Well,
okay, yeah.
You got this?
Yeah, I got this.
Oh,
I got
okay.
this.
All right, Minderz, it's on you.
All right, I got this.
Oh, boy. So hard to get good help these days. But
sorry, yeah, I got this.
Okay, so tomorrow night on the shootout, mystery guest. Our original plan fell through. Card subject to change, as we like to say.
Just like tonight.
Just like tonight. But hey, we made it work. It was time to really dig into Revolution.
Yeah. You know what, though? I did have a really good question I wanted to ask Mike Outlaw.
What's that?
I want to know if he was going to be at Dynasty as a security guard.
Oh, it's in St. Louis, isn't it?
It's in St. Louis.
Can we?
So
I would love to see Camaro in a dark match on the kickoff show.
Let's hope.
I mean, it's not going to happen because it's Tony.
Right, I know. It's something we want, so it's Tony.
I mean, Camaro would impress the Ring of Honor, though.
Yeah. Well, hey, Ring of Honor, maybe. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Camaro Jackson, worst kept secret in wrestling.
Yes.
The Yeet God.
Yeah.
Godfather.
I'm so annoyed with Jey Uso's and his Yeet. I'm like, Camaro, seriously.
It's a different Yeet, though.
Yeah, I know. Camaro was one of the bodyguards that Wardlow beat up. Back when he had his run.
Sure was. I think SK Bishop was one of them, too.
Yeah.
Campbell Myers was smart. He said, I'm going to stay home that day.
No, I think he was in something else, maybe. I don't remember. We'll have to go back and watch it. I'm sure it's somewhere.
All right. Well, Minderz, let's get into the Hall of Fame this week.
Good, because I wasn't sure who our next guest was. Oh, yeah, Soup was in it. I forgot.
Yeah. No, we got the H2O next week.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got wrong Tomaselli. Polly Tomaselli the week after that on the 19th. And Jake Oman on the 26th. And then that's to go home for the Expo. And then April, we do the Mulkey Cup. And then we have Jason Knight on the 9th. And I believe Fidel Sierra on the 30th so far. So stay tuned for more guest announcements.
I'm excited.
Oh, so was Merc, AJ says.
Oh, interesting.
All right, so let's get to our last order of business before we get out of here, Minderz, because you know what?
We're running a little late, but we're okay.
A little, but not too bad. My Taco Bell has not arrived yet, so I got a little bit of time. But anyway, here we go. All right. So once again, first Monday of the month, or even a Tuesday if we so choose.
It might be a Tuesday.
It feels like a Monday. I feel like Garfield.
I was sitting here, I was like, huh?
All right, JTR Hall of Fame, and it seemed only fitting this week, Minderz, for our choice this month.
It's got to be Sting.
Got to be Stinger. in honor of his retirement, and the fact we're going to meet him here in about 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
I'm
am. I don't know if
excited.
you were planning on it, but
I haven't decided yet. We'll see.
well,
Maybe.
he's got to sign. He's got to sign the belt, so I got to.
Ah,
So I don't know a whole lot about pre. Well, I mean, I know his background, but I didn't see a lot of his stuff before WCW. But there's some interesting things here. He started out in California as a member of Power Team USA. That's him second from the left there. That's him and Ultimate Warrior on the left side. Him and Jim
that's
Hellwig there.
hilarious.
Oh, and they're matching workout attire.
Uh-huh.
I think that's Rick Bassman in the front. I'm not 100% sure on that. Uh, so that was, I want to say 83, 84. He and Hellwig, Ultimate Warrior, were a tag team called the Freedom Fighters at that time. Look at
Yeah,
those two
Sting
baby
needs
faces.
makeup. Sting
They-
needs makeup.
Yeah, that reminds me, I got something to show you.
Uh-oh.
I got a little bored yesterday at work.
Oh, no.
So before we get into what happened after the Freedom Fighters, I don't know that I'm proud of this, but it's
Oh, that's terrible, Reb.
I know it's not my best work.
Not your best work.
All right. So anyway, after the Freedom Fighters, they go to, I think they went to Memphis first. Look at that guy.
See,
This is
this
when
is more.
this is more like Sting. This is when he was with the also still with Hellwig, but they were the Blade Runners. This was their version of the Road Warriors, uh,
That's
because
just kind of disturbing, honestly.
a little bit. And they got Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert as their manager. And this
You,
picture, I believe, is from the UWF, the old Mid-South Territory under Bill Watts.
you know what's crazy is how big they both look, and I never thought of either one of those guys as big guys.
Yeah. Scott, real quick, it was Ultimate Warrior was Rock, and Sting was originally Flash, but then he became Sting. So it was Rock and Sting.
Hmm.
But yeah, Eddie doesn't really look like he fits with these two fellas.
No, not really. Was he
But
just
they had a
announcing, or was he their
no,
manager?
he was their manager.
Okay.
But yeah, so it was when he was feuding with Bill Watts and Duggan and DiBiase and all those guys. The Blade Runners had some really cool matches with DiBiase and Dr. Death that I saw on YouTube. I mean,
I
it
could
is
see
what it
that.
was. Not exactly 5-star classics, but big meaty men slapping meat, as Big E
Well, if
likes
the
to say.
Bucks weren't in it, how can it be 5 stars? Come on now,
That's
Reb.
true. Well, no, that'd be 7 stars.
Oh yeah, my bad. I forgot.
So after UWF gets bought by Crockett, he goes to work for the Carolinas, and of course his big coming out party there was the big Clash of the Champions match with Flair, opposite WrestleMania 4, and they went 45 minutes to a draw, and it was, like I said, it was Sting's first real big singles match, and Flair made him look like $1 million in that match. That is a hell of a match.
I think he talked about that in his retirement speech.
Yeah, because
If
it
you
was
go
in the
back and watch
Greensboro
it on,
Coliseum,
yeah, if you go back and watch it on
YouTube, because God
YouTube,
knows you couldn't watch it on the pay-per-view feed.
yeah, you can't do it on pay-per-view.
Uh, Yeah, so Sting goes to a draw with Flair, then feuding with the Horsemen over various championships. His first big championship win, finger quotes, the Crockett Cup with Luger in '88.
Wow.
Sting was actually a substitute because Barry Windham had turned on Lex and joined the Horsemen right before the tournament. So Sting had to step in at the last minute, and they went up winning the whole tournament.
Well, there you go.
And if I remember right, because I haven't seen the tournament because I can't find a tape of it anywhere, I think they beat Tully and Arn in the finals.
Ah,
I think. Don't quote me on that. After that, then, Sting, he's biggest babyface in the company after Dusty leaves. Won the TV title from Rotunda. Had the feud with Muda that we talked about last week in the watch along. Finally, in 1990, he beat Flair for the world title at Great American Bash. That's one I would like to do a watch along on at some point because I love that match.
how
And
long
then
is that match?
about 20 minutes, I want to say.
Okay.
A lot of Gaga in that match. But so he had a
Okay.
fairly short run with the belt there. He held it pretty much for about 6 months. Uh, no, yes, I think.
Sorry.
No, it's right. It's right. I got my 90s and 91s confused for a second.
Mm.
But no, he held through 90 because that was Halloween Havoc when Barry Windham dressed up like Sting and tried to give Sid the belt. And it was a
Ah.
big fiasco. 92, he wins his second world title, beating Luger on his way out. And that is the belt that I'm getting signed, by the way, for those that are wondering.
You're so excited.
I'm very excited. I'm probably more excited than a 42-year-old man should be about this kind of stuff. But yeah, Sting had a nice run with that one for a few months before he dropped it to Vader at the Bash, and then yeah, then he kind of was always floating around that world title picture till about '94 when he beat Rude for the international title, and then he wound up losing that belt to Flair when they unified it, and then after that, for a while, he was doing the tag team stuff. He was tag champs with Luger briefly. Like he's about to get an elbow from that double bicep. He had to
I was gonna
duck out
say
of
it
the way
looks like
there.
it. Hey, you realize Luger was there last night? They just couldn't show him on TV
Yeah, because he's on
because of
that
his
WWE
Legends
deal.
title. Yep.
Yeah, it was. They showed Magnum and Nikita and Scotty Riggs in
Yeah.
DDP at that. Well, they may not have shown DDP. I saw
Mm-mm.
pictures of him, but I think he's under that same deal Luger is. War Games '96. This is in the heat of the NWO stuff, and that's when the NWO brought out Fake Sting, like in the build up to that, and
Mm-hmm.
Flair and Luger thought that Sting had turned on them and joined the NWO. Then Sting came out of War Games, beat up everybody, and then left. Just left them high and dry because he's like, "Fuck you guys," which I
Uh-huh.
loved. And
Mm-hmm.
then and that was the start of the Crow stuff. He switched to just black and white after that. Goes up into the almost said into the antlers. I'm thinking about Raw still from last night. He went up into the rafters and for about a year and a half didn't say anything. Just came down with his bat and laid people out. Uh,
Yep.
in the build up to the most disappointing pay-per-view main event maybe ever, him and Hogan at Starrcade '97.
Mm.
The feud was so good, the build up was fantastic, the match was the shits. I'm sorry. There are people that say it was so great. I mean, it was awful. Eric Bischoff will say it's because Sting wasn't tan. I don't know if I believe that. Uh, he
Okay.
said he thought he didn't look like a star because he wasn't tan. It was in his podcast once. But it was just a wonky finish. Brett was involved for some reason. There was a phantom fast count that wasn't fast at all.
Okay.
It was just
I'll
it
have
was
to
a
go back and
fiasco.
watch this.
Yeah,
If it's as terrible as you say,
it's
I'm
pretty
sure I'll get a
bad.
good chuckle.
Yeah. Uh, Now, for the record, I liked the gear. Is when he
Mm-hmm.
had the it's not a singlet, but he had the shoulders covered up and all that. I thought that was actually a cool looking getup he had. But eventually, he was another statistic in the NWO. He joined the Wolfpack, him and Luger, which I did not like. I didn't like the idea of Luger and Sting joining the NWO because they were with Page, the three guys that were always up against the NWO.
They should have stayed the
They should have
WCW
stayed.
guys.
Yeah, they should have stayed that way. They had Goldberg. They could have had a War Games match NWO against Page, Goldberg, Sting, and Luger, and sold some
Well,
tickets.
but Goldberg could only be in there for like 5 minutes, if that.
But if there's 8 people, he can pick his spots. Just throw a bunch of spears.
Sorry, like I told you, I was watching the Monday Night Raws.
Yeah. AJ says, Brett, quote, I got screwed last month and I'm not letting anyone else get screwed, end quote, when the fast count was at the pace of a normal 3 count and nobody got screwed. You summed it up nicely.
But like I said, I was watching the Monday Night Wars, so it's like all this was Sting. It like replayed a lot of this stuff. So I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't understand why he joined NWO. I mean, I get it, but I don't understand
He
it.
did it because the Wolfpack was over. They were baby faces, so
Yeah,
they
well,
thought they
still.
needed. I mean, they should have just. I don't know. It was like Hallmark. It was a point to sell merchandise, selling those
Yeah,
red and black T-shirts,
yeah.
which I say knowing that I have one somewhere in my house. Uh, so after the Wolfpack, he goes away for a bit, comes back. as Crow Sting. A couple more. I think he had another title run or two. And then after WCW went under, he did not go to WWE right away. He wrote out
Nope.
his Time Warner contract, like a lot of other guys did. And we didn't
Like a
really
good
see him on a big
businessman
stage,
would,
right? Work smarter, not harder.
right?
But Gary's sending
We
me
didn't see him again until
TikToks
what?
for some reason.
TNA?
It was TNA, yeah. The
Yeah.
first time was in like '03 on one of the pay-per-views. He teamed up with Jarrett against Waltman and AJ.
Okay.
But then he came back full time in '06. Teamed up with Christian against Jarrett and Monty Brown, who Barrio Pop if he hears Monty Brown mentioned. Bound for Glory '06, actually notable because it's the first time I bought a TNA pay-per-view. He won the NWA title from Jarrett, and that was a fun pay-per-view. He lost it the next month by disqualification because the NWA
Wait.
bylaws said that you could lose a title by disqualification. Apparently, that's what TNA said.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't realize
But
that. But
after
okay.
that, that was not his first taste of gold in TNA. He held every conceivable version of the title. This is my favorite of the TNA champion world titles. It's
That's
not
a
a
pretty
great
belt.
picture of it. Yeah. But the other later one was good too. In '09, he joined up with the Main Event Mafia.
I don't like him without face paint.
I think it's okay. I love Denhausen in the corner though.
Right? Look at all those guys looking so fierce. Is this when
this was
the
their
Cup
attempt
Thump
at
was
having a
going mad?
horseman. No, this is after that.
Oh, okay.
This is after that.
He
No, this
does
is when they were
terrible
trying to do a. Yeah, it's not great. They were trying to do a horseman thing here. Angle was the leader. Steiner and Booker were the tag team, and then Sting was like the wild card. He and Angle were basically feuding the whole time, even though they were in the same group.
Okay.
Russo.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But that makes me wonder. I wonder if Kurt was there last night or Sunday night.
I don't know. Maybe.
No, nobody said anything about it, so.
No. 2011. We all know about the match with Jeff Hardy, Victory Road, where everybody's trying to forget it. I know Jeff is, so less said about it, the better. But Sting won this version of the world title, which I always thought was really cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so he was kind of like the go-to guy in TNA for a while. He was the guy if they were worried about who was getting over as a heel, they would put him with Sting to really test him, see how they would do.
AJ cracked me up.
No, I still think that Angle was the leader, AJ. But I get what you're saying, though. Of course, later on, we got during the Immortal period when Hogan was the heel running the company. Then we start seeing Joker Sting.
I kind of like that.
He was trying to be crazy. It was all right. I didn't hate it, but it was different. But it's just, you see this evolution of Sting from the Blade Runners up to this point where it's just, he's not afraid to change it up just enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of like what Taker did. That's the reason we always wanted Taker and Sting.
As much as we talk about Jericho, same way, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're always the same person, but they just have different ways of presenting themselves.
Different vibes. Different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So finally, Sting goes to WWE in 2014, and he gets his match with Triple H. And a lot of people talk shit about this match, saying that Sting shouldn't have won. I don't care. I mean,
I don't either.
I like Triple H, so I'm okay with him winning. I thought the match was bad because it was a lot of, to borrow a phrase from our friend AJ, overbooked fuckery in that match. We had DX come out, we had the NWO come out. It was supposed to be a big deal. I, to this day, don't know why the NWO was helping Sting.
I don't either. Well, I think it was just because it was DX versus NWO. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
WWE versus WCW and DX
and
NWO.
that's why Trip won. Because WWE won the war.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's, yeah.
I think Triple H was going to be around a lot more than Sting was, so it didn't really. And everybody's like, oh, they should let him win. Why? Who are you, Tony Khan? Let the babyface win all the time? We did get this iconic picture, though, from that WrestleMania.
We did.
Oh, boy. They were all so tired.
They were. That was.
And I'll admit, I watched it when I was watching this live. I was waiting for Hogan to just blast Sting in the back of the head,
Yeah,
as the NWO should have done.
they should have, but they didn't.
No, we gotta send the crowd home happy, but they didn't do it then either.
Which it just cracks me up that this is, WCW versus WWE. They're all WWE guys except for Sting.
Except for Sting, they should have had Booker come out or Page,
Yeah, Booker, Page,
Goldberg, maybe.
nah, I don't know. I don't know if I would have went that far.
Sting early in the feud. Quote, I'm not going to make this about WWE versus WCW. That would be ridiculous, end quote.
Okay. Well, Sting, you don't have to, but the rest of us did it for you. You don't have to.
You might say that, pal.
Exactly.
That's good shit, pal.
Vince was still in charge. Sorry, bud.
Yeah, Vince was still running things. That's why people say, oh, Triple H buried Sting. It wasn't Triple H's call.
No, it wasn't his call. That was
And
Vince.
it was never beneath Sting to put anybody over. So I'm sure if that would have been the decision, he would have done it happily.
Sting was always a yes man. Whatever you need, this is what I will do.
What do you want to do? I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
That's the story that, Bubba said it on Busted Open.
Yep.
And that's probably what he said to the Bucks. What do you guys want to do? I'll do whatever.
Yeah. He might have made suggestions for a few things. But
yeah, it is what it is. So that brings us he had the match with Rollins where he hurt his back, and
Night of Champions.
Night of Champions, that buckle bomb, which I mean, yeah,
Accidents
Rollins,
happen.
8 out of
Accidents
10
happen.
times Rollins will hit it perfectly.
Yep.
But every now and then he'll either undershoot or overshoot, and it works out poorly. So
Yeah.
Sting goes on the shelf, winds up retiring the first time at the Hall of Fame when he gets inducted. Oh, AJ, hang on. All these examples that I'm kind of taking the piss out of, these last couple of comments just shows what a team player Sting is. He's not wrong.
Yeah. You're not. Not at all.
Yeah. And that's why he's so respected, because he's willing to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes back to probably working with Flair.
Right.
But anyway, after he goes on the shelf, he comes back at on Dynamite in AEW in 2021. If
That
my
sounds
memories, if I'm not mistaken, that was also the night that Olivier beat Moxley for the title.
That sounds right. Yeah.
So, and then he throws in with Darby. Look at those two, like a dad and his son.
Yep.
He's a proud papa there.
Darby must kind of be the same way Sting is, a yes man to an extent. Because think of all the people Darby's worked with. Because he even worked with Punk.
Right.
And Punk
Edge.
didn't say anything but nice things about him.
Yeah. Copeland said the same thing.
Yeah.
Christian probably would say the same thing.
Probably.
But yeah, it's really saying something that they had a run together for 3 years. And I said it from the first episode of Jumping the Rail. I was waiting for Sting to turn on Darby and work heel and really put him over. But they never did it. They just kept him as a team the whole time. Well, because everybody else was expecting Darby to turn on Sting.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing, though, was Sting even said, he's like, this is the best tag team partner I've ever had.
Yeah, which is really saying something. If he's not blowing smoke, that's saying something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say there's no way Darby's worse than Hellwig. But I mean,
but Luger.
I would have thought. I mean, Luger was a great tag team partner for Sting. It's just all kinds of guys in TNA, team with Christian and other people. I think he was tag champs with Angle at one point in TNA.
Oh wow!
But anyway, so Sting retires this past Sunday, gets the big send off, and
through a plate of glass.
Yeah, and now he can officially say he's done it all because he is in the JTR Hall of Fame.
AJ just made a really good point. Darby is the one partner he's ever had that never double-crossed him.
This is very true.
It's very true.
Very true.
But
thanks,
yeah.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right. So yeah, that's our Hall of Fame. Next week we'll do Top 10 Tuesday. I have a a silly kind of a cheeky category to go with for that. I'll fill you in
Okay.
during the week, Menders. Uh, kind of also kind of ties in with the Sunday, but
Oh joy.
oh joy indeed. But but I don't think we have anything else to discuss, Menders. I think we've covered everything.
Think that's it.
Yeah. Uh,
No
that's
new
it.
news in the whole Vince situation, so don't have anything
No,
to discuss there.
no,
I'm sure
nothing new
somebody will do
there.
something stupid this week, though, and we'll have
Oh,
something to talk about. But
eventually everybody does.
I
Uh,
mean, Dynamite's on tomorrow, so
that's true. I'm a little nervous about because I don't know who the guest is tomorrow night for the shootout, but I trust you.
trust me, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I
Okay.
promise.
All right.
It'll
All
be
right.
fine.
I trust you. All right. So, Menders, if you have nothing else, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get out of here. And thank you again to Cornette's Collectibles.
There you
I
go.
like the picture there. That'll go on the wall. Got the bodies again. Just there's still some available of not only of the bodies but of the Midnight Express in various combinations, Eaton and Condor, Eaton and Lane. It costs a bit, but it's a cool collectible to have.
Not really, considering I spent 50 for my one, and I think
True.
it's what 100.
I think so, yeah. I think the 4-pack of the three Midnights in Corny was like 200, 250 or
It's
something.
250, I think, was for the
Yeah.
4-pack.
For the pair, I think it's 100.
Yeah.
But anyway, uh, starting Saturday, the regular merchandise will be back on sale at the Corny website. So get your T-shirts and
Yeah.
whatnot. Why am I shilling for Cornette's merchandise?
I don't know, because we already did ours earlier.
There, yeah, that makes sense. All right. Well, Menders, let's get out of here, and we'll call it an episode. I think my food just arrived. So until next Tuesday with Hardcore Heather Owens. For Menders, this is Reb reminding you all life is hard, work stiff, and we will see you later. And oh, by the way,
Thanks, guys.